Hello everyone, welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today we're going to be playing some Royal Rebels because they have just had their new skill buff. Now, Royal Rebels is a deck that I personally have always really liked. I liked their first iteration back when it was, I guess the first iteration was kind of it was Red Eyes Rebels was like the best version of the deck. And then obviously we got the Invasion where we got nearly tier 0 invasion meta, but it was more like invasion plus overlord were kind of the two big decks, and they were obviously quite strong. Then we got into the, what was it, not hard rock, heavy metal, no, hard metal. The issue is they all have such similar names. The one that wipes the opponent's board, when we got that doom metal, that's the one, doom metal. We got doom metal, and then that created a whole other version of the deck where people were playing stop defense and mirrors, very basically turned into who could draw out all their combat pieces first. And that then was a deck that was taken into the first Rush to World Championships, which was a very cool deck as well. Anyway, fast forward, we have the hard rock skill, which in my opinion was okay. It wasn't anything crazy, right? It was maybe a smidge underpowered, but the deck and what it was trying to do made a lot of sense and was relatively competent. The deck was okay. We have, though, just had that skill buffed, and we have already seen a human win a tournament with it, which is very, very exciting, because again, like I say, I've always been a big fan of the deck. Now, back when I was playing OCG and playing OCG tournaments all the time, there was one player who was big in the community, and they were like a Royal Rebel, like one trick. That was kind of their thing. And because of that one player, I've always had like this fondness towards the deck, because every time you play against him, you're always playing against a guy who's like playing the deck when it's realistically not meta relevant, but he's still trying to make it work. And sometimes it does upstage other decks, which I always think is really, really cool. So I've always had this like affection for the deck. So it's something I am really looking forward to. Outside of that, there have been apparently a ton of new reveals for OCG reveals. So I'm excited to go and check them out. We did see one of them that Mono showed off yesterday on his stream when he was streaming his tournament, which did look really, really cool. That was the full art, like Galactica Oblivion with Requiem on it, which was really, really cool. So we're going to go and take a look through all of those. And we're going to do our general yapping as we always do. Come on, guys, it's a tomato sauce stream. If we didn't spend an entire hour at the start of every stream talking about nothing, it wouldn't really be one of these streams. But before we jump into all of that, we should say hello to everyone who is in the chat. So first things first, we have Darth Victor. Hello, hello, Victor. Welcome, welcome on in. We have Whistling Bird with the second. Hello, hello, Whistling Bird. Funny, I started whistling as you sent that. Always the way, always the way. Hello, Hit. Welcome, welcome on in. We have Giorfio, my precious, precious teammate. I guess Giorfio's got to be one of the most well-respected Duel Links players, just like of all time, right? He's gone to Worlds for both Speed and Rush. There are not many players that can claim that. I think it's maybe just him and one other player that applies to, I think. So, you know, Giorfio is amazing. Everyone loves Giorfio. How's everyone's favorite tomato dino? I am doing quite good. I am, in general, just in quite a good mood. I've got like nothing to really complain about. I mean, I'm happy. The one thing that I would complain about, this is a very British thing to do, is the weather. So we had like a little bit of a heat wave a few days ago, and I was like, okay, jumper phase is over. Jumper's off. We are now wearing t-shirts. And then it got cold again. And I was like, just make up your mind whether let's have hot days or let's have cold days. Let's not do this. So in very typical British manner, the weather has been mildly annoying. But that is probably the most British statement you can actually make. So other than that, I'm doing really good. Finally. Hello, a human Portuguese dub fan. Welcome, welcome. How's everyone's day been so far? I mean, mine's been pretty good. Horrible from Victor. Oh, no. 1 bad and 10 is worst ever. 8. Ooh, that's rough. That's a rough one. Don't worry, we will ban the red boot player that did this to you. So I do actually want to talk about this. So yesterday we did have a tournament run by Monosync. I'll do an exclamation mark Mono. I'm pretty sure he's not here, but we'll still give him the shout out because he is the man, the myth, the legend, the Monosync himself. He did a tournament. And the tournament was pretty cool. It was a little bit of a shame that only 3 Royal Rebels entered. I was actually thinking about playing Royal Rebels myself, because 1, it would be a good chance to farm replays, and 2, it gets me to kind of play the deck a bit. But I thought, without any practice at all, I'm going to be so rusty, I couldn't even remember exactly the wording on the skill, for example, that I was like, this is probably just not a good idea, so I did end up taking the noodles. Noodles were pretty fine. I will say, I felt so bad, because I won the matchup that I shouldn't win, and I lost the matchup I should win. So I guess, all right, we'll show some context for this quickly, because this is relevant. We'll come back to saying hello to the chat in a second. So this is the build that I played. This is just like, it's trap heavy noodles. The idea being, right now there are a lot of decks in the meta that different traps work against. We're playing a lot of traps basically to try and counter as much as we can. We have to make sure we draw the right traps against the right deck. Now, the issue is, to fit this many traps in, we have cut the back row hate, right? So, the match that I ended up winning was against the Phoenix Maximum, which is very annoying for this deck to deal with, because outside of just pumping your guys really big, if they slam the Phoenix down and they slam the equip spell on it, you don't have a way to deal with it. You can't pop the Maximum while it's got the equip spell, so now you have to pop the equip spell, but that means you then can't pop the Maximum unless you can go into double broth in a single turn. Now, obviously, the way to try and deal with this would ideally have a back row hate, pop the equip spell, go into the fusion monster, pop the Maximum, hunky-dory, right? The issue is this build doesn't do that. And the deck that we lost to was Red Boot. And we have every tool imaginable to defeat Red Boot. But we did not draw them in the right order, or we drew, in one situation, I think we had Noodle Water Flavor Shift, plus Fusion, plus Shady down. And my opponent just used their back row hate and just sniped the Shady. And I'm like, okay, I guess you just wanted it more. Which was kind of sad, but it is what it is. Again, I never get annoyed at my opponent. I think it's never your opponent that is the issue, right? It's always the deck they play. So, for example, after that, I did say I despise Red Boot, because I really do. I really do not like the Red Boot deck. It's just, it is not my cup of tea at all. These monsters I do not find interesting. Obviously, you can go into, like, the big burn guy. The deck, it feels like it just kills you. Or, if you have the trap cards to stop it, it just does nothing. But anyway, my point is, I was built to beat this deck, right? And then I lost to it because of bad luck, which always, it is what it is, right? It is what it is at the end of the day. But I will quickly, I'll show you the replay of the match that I won, that I had no business winning. You're going to see how much I had to sack to win this game. So this was against Asvel. Again, Asvel's a lovely guy. He is, yeah, again, I don't want to, like, show this off as, like, me shitting on someone. Because, again, it was a very close game. I got very lucky to win this game. But this was, like, insane how we actually did win this game. So I did want to show this off, because we got, like, the biggest pop-off of all time. So I do, you know, I want to have a little victory lap, right? So, as we can see here, not the most exciting open. Obviously, we're not playing around Curse, because he shouldn't be playing Curse in this sort of deck. He activates Pot of Greed, sets 5, and passes. We go Dueling as Ramen. We do grab some cards. We're going to use Stray, grab back the Medley from the graveyard, because we are just going to go ahead and fuse into our monster that will punish defensive monsters. And that is going to be the instant miso. So one thing about this matchup is you're the entire time trying not to set 0 defense monsters, because you will just die. If you just leave low defense monsters on the field, you're just going to get bullied. So we're trying to, like, not brick ourselves. The reason we didn't set the Shiny Shady is because we had 2 trap cards down already that unfortunately are completely useless in this matchup. But I didn't want to have my entire back row clogged up, because then I just can't play the game. I don't obviously want to leave this in my hand, and it's not like we're actually going to use Shady. So he goes into the Maximum, goes ahead and burns us for the 1,000, activates Gift, discards, activates Structure Force. So now we're in a bit of an awkward situation, which we were talking about at the start, where I need to pop the back row and then pop the monster. And then he does the unthinkable. He equips a second, and now I'm like, oh damn. And then the third comes down. And I'm like, how do I win from this perspective, right? I was like, So there is only one way to beat this, and we find it. But here it is. So we go ahead and use our skill. We'll go ahead and summon out Stray. We'll grab back. We're going to go ahead and tribute out Spice. We're going to summon out Ember, use its effect to summon out Spice, use Spice effect to boost, use Spice effect to boost, then use Flavor Shift to turn one of our spices into the Flavor Inspector, use the Fusion to combine 2 of them together to go into Rich Broth. Rich Broth brings back Pop, then we get a 3rd activation and a 4th activation of Spice. And that is how we managed to defeat the undefeatable monster. And it was like, that was just like the biggest noodle pop-off turn of all time. It was absolutely insane. I had to share that with the stream. Because again, I felt bad because I shouldn't have won that game. As soon as he established the maximum of 3 equips, that should just be kind of it. And he probably felt really bad. But again, he's a lovely guy. He absolutely is. And I believe he was a part of RRC, the Rush Rhythm Crew, which did very, very well in yesterday's tournament. I think those guys are doing absolutely fantastic. They're all absolutely amazing players. So there is that. We will jump back to chatting quick as we do continue on with the chat. That was a bit of a detour, but I thought it would be a bit weird to like jump back and forth between topics. So there's that. All right. Let's go back and catch up with the chat. So we have Isla in the chat. Hi, how is everyone? Again, I'm doing great. I hope everyone else is doing great as well. Tomato, remember when I said that we could technically get world premiere Contact Fusion Rebels, and you said there was no product coming out that supported that? Well, look who's the prophet now. Again, I haven't seen any of the leaks, so I believe that might be spoilers. But again, spoilers for leaks is whatever, right? But I haven't looked at it yet. We have Baj in the chat. Hello, Baj. Discuss the list. Show us your cooking. I mean, the list... What, do you want to look at my Royal Rebel list, or do you want to look at my noodle list? But hello, Whistling Bird again. We have Dwan in the chat. Hello. Dwan, my noodle brother, who, unfortunately, I believe did fall at the hands of Phoenix, which just goes to show how one-sided that matchup should be, because maximum decks can be really difficult for some decks to out. Moki also did. He was in the same KCGT I played. Oh, was Moki a big speed player? I genuinely didn't know that. I genuinely did not know that. That's very interesting. Hello, Voltalon as well. Welcome. Weather could be annoying. It's one of those things where it is the weather being annoying is the most unsubstantial, most insignificant annoyance. And yet, you know, it's one of those things where you have to realize you're in a position of privilege when, like, the weather can annoy you. Right? Because that means there is so little else going wrong in my life that I have to be like, God, that weather could be better though. Right? Which, again, is very good. That's a very good thing. Why no one played the Psychic deck that topped GRF? Is it good? Well, someone has actually played it. I guess we will hop over to... What's the best way to do this? If we jump over to... Yeah, this is probably the best way. So if we take a look, we can actually see that the Psychic list did actually get played yesterday by Huki and did manage to get top 3. So this was like 3rd/4th place. And there it is. Now, for me, the obvious weird card in here is Stealth Agic. I don't really like Stealth Agic. I kind of get it, but it's... How often are you going to find yourself in the perfect situation to make real use of Stealth Agic? The other one is like Esperard. Again, these both feel very high roll. These both are like, oh, if the stars align, if we just happen to be in that situation, it's fantastic. But if not, they don't really do anything. The other issue is we don't really have ways to modulate our life points in this build, right? This doesn't affect our life points. This is 500. This doesn't. This is 500, but only if the graveyard's set up. So it's an... maybe 500. This heals us. This doesn't cost life points, but again, it's an effect that does. This doesn't cost life points. This doesn't cost life points. So, like, there are a lot of ways. Like, a usual Psychic deck would have a lot of ways to lower your own life points. This build doesn't. So, like, it's a bit weird, but, like, I guess if you high roll with it and it works, right? So there is that. I don't know if the list is correct. Well, Esperard can be recovered with the spell, so it's kind of fine at 1. I kind of get that, but also you're playing a lot of high levels already. I think an extra Giftaris would probably be better because you need it in the graveyard for V-Friend's effect. And with the spell, you almost always want to be getting V-Friend back, right? Because the logic is you can go V-Friend, use the effect, pop something, tribute over V-Friend for V-Friend, use its effect, pop something, then use Psycomposition, bring back the V-Friend you tributed, summon out that one, and then pop something. And now you've popped 3 cards out the way, and you have 7,500 damage on the field. No, is it? It'd be 9,000. You'd have 9,000 damage on the field, because they will get 500 attack. And then, like, that is enough to even kill through 1 defensive monster, right? Because you have a 3,000 into their defensive, and then 3,000 direct attacks. So you could pop 2 monsters and a back row. So, like, I don't know. It's a weird one. It is a weird one. But. Let's continue on reading the chat. Where is your rice in the noodle deck? I think Rice is fine. I don't think Rice is like the be-all end-all. I think it is okay in the current meta. I've seen some people saying that like it's the best thing ever and it's like amazing into every single deck. I don't personally subscribe to that, but I can see why people like it. 6 to 5 traps feels almost necessary for me. I mean, in some situations it is. It depends on how you're trying to build the deck or what the actual goal of the deck is, right? But again, you can get massively punished if you're playing a trap-heavy deck if you play against something like a maximum deck. Because that deck doesn't care about your traps. None of them work against it. Like, the best you're going to get is, like, negate attack. And against the bird maximum, it should be ripping 2 of your back row out of the way anyway. So then they have to get lucky to, like... Or you have to get lucky to not have your negate attack popped. So, it's a tricky one. It's Zaki Boys in the chat. Skill issue, draw better. Alright, I'm going to play RB this month. I don't... Again, RB is... I just don't like it. I don't like a deck that is effectively just an OTK deck. It does nothing else interesting other than OTK. So, like... And again, just because I don't like a deck doesn't mean you guys don't have to like a deck, right? I'm not trying to, like, influence you or anything. I'm just informing you as to why I have this opinion. I don't really like playing that style where it's kind of all or nothing. It's very much like a glass cannon deck. It just doesn't personally interest me. But again, if you guys like it, you guys can like it. That's fine. We also have Ursus in the chat. Hello, hello. Oh, baby, a triple. 3 equips. How? Exactly. Exactly. They must have raged so much. Again, they were very, like, wholesome. They were, like, they GG'd at the end of the game, etc., etc. So, like, again, I've got nothing but good things to say about Asphalt. I think he's an absolutely lovely person. See ya, buddy. What the hell did I just watch? It got top 4 yesterday. Is this the list that got top 30 GRF? It felt good to me. All right, we are going to wait because we are in an ad break. So we're going to hydrate, as we always forget to do. Three, 2, 1. And that should be all the adges gone for everyone. So welcome back, everyone that got hit with adges. Are you a person that doesn't mix rice and noodles? Ooh, I don't know if I've ever eaten rice with noodles before. I'm trying to think. It's usually, they don't usually come together, right? And I wouldn't go out of my way to put them together. But I don't think I've ever had rice with noodles. Sorry for what he said that I just got here. Hello, Bala Sparkle. Yes, again, there's some stuff I think is good about this list. Again, I was an early adopter of VFriend. I think VFriend is a really cool deck. The problem is, if you go first playing this deck, oftentimes the game just ends because the skill is just not very go first friendly, which is such a shame. Because the issue you're going to run into is you're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 high-level monsters, and you can't use the skill turn 1 to get a discount on them. Which means if you just open, like, 3 or 4 of these 11 cards in your deck, which should be quite likely, all things considered, you just pass the first turn, effectively, and then hope you don't die. And in a meta where we have Red Boot that will kill you in 1 turn, we have heroes that, if they get the good hand, if they just find all the circs, they'll just kill you in 1 turn. We've got Red Eyes that will just kill you in 1 turn. There are a lot of decks that will massively punish you. Massively, massively punish you. So, it's, I want this deck to be good. And I think, again, if you do high roll with this deck, if you just get lucky, it's insane. Like we say, putting out 9,000 attack with triple pop is like something this deck relatively easily can do. It's just, do you have all 5 cards in the graveyard that you need to be in the graveyard? That is always the tricky bit. If you can get them in the graveyard, it's fantastic. If you can't get them in the graveyard, the deck feels like it doesn't really do anything. And it's another one of those 0 defense decks. So, at least back when Music Princess was a lot more prevalent, I actually played this deck in 2 different tournaments. And both of those events, my opponent used Trombeau, changed my guy to defense, then went into Divine Breath, used its effect, boosted to 6,000, attacked over my 0 defense, and I died. And that happened twice. Which, like, that really makes me not want to play 0 defense decks. And it's basically just this sort of Royal Rebels, although actually very few of the Rebels actually have 0 defense. And then Noodles. So why is it all the decks that I like are 0 defense decks, that can get massively punished for having 0 defense. That just makes me sad. It does just make me sad. I feel like the problem with Psychic Skill is that you don't really need low levels for any of your turns, except turn 1. Kind of? It depends, right? Because it depends if we consider Berry, Bassist, and Romic and Roller as low levels. Because they sort of are from turn 2 onwards, but on turn 1, they kind of suck, right? You do need to play these 6 at the very least, right? You need to play Keytar Kid, you need to play Dream Drummer. Ideally, you want to see maximum copies of each, because you're only going to send 1 card to the graveyard, which is why we started seeing people max out on... Well, I mean, we're already playing 2 of Guitarist and Berry Bassist in this list, but that's why we started to see people play a lot more of those types of cards, right? Hey, is that Corey in the chat? Hello. What topics did I miss? We've basically just been talking about the tournament that happened yesterday so far. That's all we've really been doing. This deck feels pretty consistent to me. Often turn to lethal, but yeah, 0 defense is scary. I think, Ballasparkle, that you are very lucky. I have played this deck so often, and I often get to the point where I'll use the V-Friends, mill through my entire deck. I'll have like 8 cards left in my deck, and I still won't have all 5 of the pieces in the graveyard. I don't know if that's because I'm unlucky, and I don't know if the people seeing success with this deck are just a bit lucky. It could be a mix of the two, but I often find that I'm like, alright, I have lethal. All I need to do is with 2 V-Friend activations, milling 10 cards, I just need to mill the last piece into the graveyard. And then you mill 10 and just don't get it. And it's like, I guess I lose then. Which is very sad. It's very sad when it happens, but it is what it is. Yeah, 0 defense is scary, and red boot flip too. Yeah, the red boot flip is like, it's annoying, and especially when you're playing these like low-level monsters, but if everything's going the way you want it to, against red boot specifically, it shouldn't be too much of an issue, because you should be ending on like 3 2,000 plus guys, which is like the best you could hope for. The issue with this deck is it doesn't have any trap cards, right? Red boot can't pierce though. It cannot unless they have the Pierce spell card, which some people were playing. I think for the most part, most players have kind of decided that that's not worth playing anymore. So like this list, for example, is not playing Pierce. I think most people have swapped onto the Blue Fang and the Curse instead of Pierce, but... And, you know, some people are playing a lot more trap cards, but it depends, right? It depends. Hello, King John. As a reminder, majority of the non-Galactica level 7 or higher galaxy bosses like Vanishing, Herika Riser, or Greystone Reverie actually have 0 defense. The difference is, though, nobody plays them, right? Nobody plays those decks because they're not very good, right? So, like, even if we're talking about, like, meta versus rogue, like, let's be honest, Vanishing Herika Riser is, like, lower than rogue, right? It is a bit weaker. 0 is round like a tomato. That's why you like it. Apparently so. Apparently so. Did you play this with Saturnius Orb? Yes. But again, it depends, right? Sometimes you'll see the Saturnius Orb. Sometimes you won't. It comes down to luck at the end of the day. Like, sometimes you'll draw well. Sometimes you won't draw well. That is the nature of card games, right? The issue I find with this deck is it very rarely ends up actually drawing well. Which... sometimes it's fine, sometimes it isn't. It depends what you're playing against, right? And again, going first with this deck sucks so bad. Like, sucks so bad. Did you see new Konami post? The... what? The Guag test 2 min 16 second animation of all time? I have no idea. I have no idea. Was Guag test meant to be best? How does it autocorrect to that? That is interesting. Mr. Tomato, how far did you get on Sunday with the Sacred Cards? We finished it, Whistling Bird. We finished it. We absolutely destroyed that game. It took us about 5 hours total. So I can actually show that now, actually. So this, we played Sacred Cards. We did 2 sessions. Both were about 2.5 hours each. And we managed to finish Sacred Cards. The game is very, very easy, guys. It's very, very, very easy. It might be one of the easiest Yu-Gi-Oh games of all time. We didn't have to do any grinding. We didn't have to do pretty much anything. We just lost a couple times because we didn't draw the right half of the deck. So we just redid it and absolutely smashed it. The twin game, Reshef of Destruction, over here, this is the scary one. This is the one where I think a lot of people looked at Sacred Cards and went, that was way too easy. That wasn't even a challenge. I didn't need to grind. I didn't get to use any of like the really cool cards. And then they went, all right, hold my beer. Here is one of the hardest Yu-Gi-Oh games of all time, Reshef of Destruction. You're going to be grinding. You're going to have to make absolutely flawless plays every turn. You're going to have to make sure you don't brick. Otherwise, you are not making any progress. So I'm debating playing Reshef of Destruction next as our next, like, Sunday game. Because Sundays usually are, like, variety day. That's where we've been playing, like, we were playing Digimon a lot of the time. That's also, like, Sundays are, like, extra stream day. So I might play Reshef next, which will be a very different experience to Sacred Cards. But I'll try and do, I think, a majority of the grinding stuff off stream, and just try and do, like, the story stuff on stream, but we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly. My autocorrect too. Hello, Bezadzia? I'm gonna go with that, Bezadzia. Hello, welcome, Bezadzia. Welcome. We're doing pretty good here. We're doing pretty good. We are just kind of yapping at the moment, but that is quite normal for this stream, so... maybe we should add 2 more low levels over the Spell and Esperard. Like, maybe, yeah, I think taking out Stealth Magic is probably for the best, but you never know. Maybe Stealth Magic is, like, the difference maker. Like, maybe if I played with Stealth Magic, I'd be like, actually, going -1 most of the time is actually good because it gets everything in rotation that you need. So, I don't know if level 6 is a good idea, though. The idea, I think, is just... Because you can use the skill to dump one specific card, but the issue is, you don't know what you're going to mill with V-Friend, and you want to summon out V-Friend for 1 tribute, which means you have to... Most of the time, you'll use the skill, then summon V-Friend. But what you want to do is summon V-Friend, and then use the skill. Because that way, you use V-Friend, dump everything, hopefully have everything. If not, like, you're missing 1. And then you can use the skill to specifically send something to the graveyard. But it's not going to work out like that most of the time. So it's like... it's awkward. It can be a little bit awkward. So the logic is, if we can just draw out, or have more copies of these cards in the deck, we can then mill them into the graveyard, and then everything's hunky-dory, right? I get your idea with autocorrect a lot too. Yeah, it's an awkward one. It's an awkward one. I'm very close to opening the Music Princess box now because of Serpent and V-Friend. V-Friend is such a cool deck, man. I really do like this deck. The issue is, there isn't a ton of new support this deck can get. Like, V-Friend came out in OCG and basically did nothing. So it was like, okay, we'll get a really busted skill that'll let V-Friend be good. And to be fair, this skill is really good. It's just, like, not good enough. I think, for me, you should be able to use this skill on turn 1. I think if we can just use this on turn 1, a lot of this deck's shortcomings sort of disappear. It still has a lot of shortcomings, but the majority of, like, the big game enders stop, which is quite important. The issue is, again, that we don't have many, like, psychic support cards not coming out, or at least ones that are going to be relatively useful for this deck. So we're not going to use any of the wind psychic stuff in here, realistically. None of the monsters are probably going to make the cut. Obviously, we could get the other 2 copies of Roman pick. That would be pretty good. But what we're mostly going to be looking for is, like, the spell cards. So, like, Miracle picks, like, I think this one was pretty good. Reveal level 7, Light Attribute or Dark Attribute Psychic Monster 0 defense in your hand to your opponent. Excavate top 3, add an Excavate card to your hands, then main cards to the graveyard. You can only attack with a Mega Psychic or Psychic type monsters this turn. This is just good, right? This is just a +0, but it's a good consistency tool to try and find the pieces that you're looking for. Major Audition. This one was not fantastic, if I remember. Pay 500 life points for summon to one of each Giftarist, Remick and Roller, Berry Basis, Dream Dumber, Keytar Kid. So, like, I mean, this is, like, neat. I don't know how useful this would be in the deck as it is. There is also stuff like My Patience has run out. This card is really good, but I don't think this is going to work, if I remember correctly, with the V-Friend version. So if your life points lower than your opponent's this turn, up to 2 face-up Omega Psychic and or Psychic monsters gain 900 attack. Oh no, this would work then. And if they attack a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. So this is just, if your life points are lower, you get 1800 attack onto the board, and double piercing, which is really good. Is there anything else in here that, like, stands out to me? I don't think there is, actually. I don't think anything else in here is, like, crazy. I think those are the big ones. I'd really like to see Miracle Pick, Major Audition, and My Patience has run out as, like, the future support for the deck. Top 30 guy used to run 3 Stealth Agic instead of 3 Saturnius. That is weird to me, especially when Saturnius is so good for this deck specifically. The main problem with having your character play Galaxy deck is because no matter what you do, there are going to be comparisons to Udius. I don't know what that means, King John, but I am going to appreciate that. I like the Stealth Agic when I was trying it because the deck is bad and bricks half the time. But were you playing it in addition to Saturnius' Orb? I don't know if I'd play it instead of, but who knows. Top 30 is a known player. I didn't even know the list until Konami posted the report. So yeah, I think it was just when it was posted in the report, right? I think it was like you could go into it and look at decks that were doing well in the GRF, and then if you went on Psychic, this was like the only list there. It's some Chinese player who isn't on any social media, but always plays Psychics, so I've seen his deck list before. I see. Hello, United. Welcome. Oh, yeah, there was a bigger message basically explaining that for a project, I'm making a deck for a character, and she's running like Galaxy. Ah, I see. But moving on from this, I suppose, since we're going to hop around a bit. So yeah, Sunday, I might be doing Red Chef of Destruction. If you want to see me struggle and painfully play through a Game Boy Advance Yu-Gi-Oh game, maybe that's what we're doing on Sunday. So the other thing is, I've been playing Pokemon Champions. They've just finished their like first event thing, which is fine. I haven't been playing this game a ton. I know Baj has been absolutely spamming this. I'm sure that some of you guys have been loving this game as well. And some of you are just waiting for this to come to mobile, and some of you don't give a shit whatsoever. But I've been really having a lot of fun with this game. My brother has just hit Master Ball rank, so I was quite happy that he managed that. Overall, I would say this game is very fun. I do plan to continue playing this. We're probably going to do another champion stream on Thursday. I think that's probably the direction we're going in. Because my issue is, I don't want to just stream Rush for the sake of it, right? I want there to be something to do in Rush. Like right now, we have a new deck to try out. So right now, we're kind of just waiting for the new box to drop. And we're expecting it to be a deck build. That's probably going to come out on the 20th. That is the prediction we currently have, right? So we're going to go for that. Until then, what I would usually do is jump in and play some Speed. The problem we have with Speed is I really don't want to play against Hand Loop, and I don't want to play against people just spamming Kaijus like Sphere Mode and Lava Golem. I don't really want to play against people FTKing me with Therian, and also just in general, even if you take away all of those degenerate things, Therian and D-Hero are so good right now that I don't think I want to play against them, even if they're not playing the bullshit versions. So, like, just right now, even if, you know, I'm playing at, like, low rank, I would never play against any of these decks. Just the fact that I could really makes me, like, just not want to. You can play Dino FTK. I don't want to play it. I don't want to play Dino FTK, though. I like Dinos. I don't like FTK. I've never been a big FTK player. I played FTK one time at locals. And to be fair, I did top with it. I think we got up to like top 4. But every opponent I played against was visibly not happy with the fact I was playing it. And it was at that point I went, guys, maybe FTK isn't very fun. Maybe it's kind of lame. So just ever since then, I've been like, not a fan personally. Definitely alongside it. There we go then. Probably used 3 stealth before Orb was released. I mean, that's also kind of yikes though, I think. I'm in Ultra Ball Purgatory. That's where you belong. I mean, I'm still in Great Ball, but I've only been playing 1 game a day, so there's that. And you're wondering, I've been trying to get people actually respect and try Russia out again. Oh, Rush out again. Okay, there we go. Woo. And I was gonna say we shouldn't try and Russia out. All I'm getting is being told to fuck off. I mean, that's gonna happen, right? It's one of those things where I think you have to accept that a lot of people don't care. Think of it sort of like when a sales representative goes door to door, like a door-to-door salesman. They are just like, they're trying to do something, even though most people don't. They're just not interested. They're just not remotely interested. So in a similar way, like, it's good to try and spread the word a bit, but, you know, if you come across too strong, you have to understand that people aren't going to like that. And there are going to be people that they just outwardly do not care. And that is also, unfortunately, something you just have to be fine with. You play Dino without FTK and hope you don't get Lava Golem. So my issue with Dino that I have right now is I didn't end up getting the Dolka. So I've been kind of waiting for Dolka to get printed because I was like, if I was going to continue to play in Speed tournaments regularly, paying the money to get the Dolka, because I'd have to get it from the selection pack. We've already run out of the, you know, gemmable packs from the selection box. So I was like, if I was going to get good value out of it, sure. But I think now we're at the point where Dolka could come out in the next couple of months. So I'm also like, I don't want to play the deck without Dolka because I'd get this nagging feeling at the back of my mind, like, oh, you're not playing this deck properly. And I don't want to buy the Dolka because I feel like it's just about to come out. So I'm like in this weird, like, I don't want to play Dinos at all because I can't play Dinos properly at the moment. It's a mental thing. Realistically, I could just play it without Dolka. It would be fine. it wouldn't ultimately make a huge difference. But I don't want to, right? It's like, there was one successful person, but I haven't gotten him back in contact with them, but they are willing to try it out. Well, I mean, that's always a good thing. And while one of my personal friends is actually willing to try it out as well, so that's something that's good. Is Pyro support next? Why did I hear people think that? So there was some skill leaks, or a skill leak. I guess I'll go grab it quick, because I should have it relatively easily accessible. This one. So this was leaked a little while ago. So this is from turn 2 onward, reveal a Chemicalized Salamander, Chromatographicus, or Ember the Super Assistant in your hand. If all of the monsters in your constructed deck are fire attribute pyro type monsters with 100 or more defense, add 2 normal monsters, effect monsters 1500 defense and or fusion from your deck or graveyard to your hand, then send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. So this is the skill that was leaked. And again, we're just expecting, because we got this skill, chances are we're going to get some cards that support the skill. And because it's a fusion skill and it mentions Chromatographicus and Chemicalized Salamander, that means we're probably getting some fusions for Chemicalized Salamander and Chromatographicus, right? Which selection was Dolka? That is an excellent question. It was the one with Imperm in it. I guess we can go and quickly look that up, right? So if we go over here. So, selection mini 7. There he is. There's Dolka. So I want Dolka. This is what I want. But the only way to get him at the moment is selection mini 07. And again, we've run out of free packs. We managed to get double Imperm, 0 Dolka. That was our pulls from this. We pulled an Imperm, I think like pack 1 or pack 2. And we were like, okay, you know, I think I was talking to chat about it. Chat was like, yeah, you should do a reset because you got Imperm like so early. So we did that. And then we just didn't end up getting Dolka, which felt bad. We got like most of everything else, I think, though. I think we got all the Thunder Dragons we wanted. I think we got the Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon, even though I don't think this card even sees play. We got like everything in here except the one thing we wanted. Up to and including double Imperm. I'm just like... September's Mini Volume 7. There you go. There you go. Brad always knows. Hello, by the way, Brad. Welcome on in. There is something else I did want to talk about as well, which is actually Brad related, which was this. So this was one of Brad's tweets. So this is Duel Links China. First off, I just want to say, I love hearing about Duel Links China. Duel Links China is one of my favorite subjects. So whenever Brad puts out a video or tweets about Duel Links China, I'm locked in, right? Because I find it so interesting. Like, I really, really do. And I really want to find... I want to play Duel Links China, fundamentally. As like, because it's sort of like a private server, it feels like. If anyone's ever played an MMO, or like some discontinued games, a lot of times they do like private servers, which are like unofficial servers that have a debatable like legal strategy. But the point is, it's different. There are changes, there are weird differences. And China Duel Links feels like that. And I think that's so cool. And I would really love to play this game, but I don't want to go through the effort of being able to play it. But this was the ban list that they have just had. Now, obviously, their meta is a bit different. They don't have the same card pool. But, obviously, we're seeing Disturbance Strategy banned, and I think that is fantastic. I think this is probably what's going to happen in Speed for us. But it's interesting to see this happen. Single leak, we have Pyro Skill. Oh no, another Parko Cope. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. For fusions. Yeah, Duel Links China feels better in everything except 2 things, monetization and no rush. I wouldn't say everything. I think different is interesting. I wouldn't necessarily say different is better. I think there are a lot of things China does better, and there are some things China does worse. So I don't want to like just sing its praises like too much, but just the fact it is different makes me want to play it. Just for like a mix-up. I think it would just be really cool. I just realized something makes me feel dumb. Every single Rush player in the anime doesn't have a set ace monster. They continue to swap them out. I mean, kind of. I don't know if I agree with that. I think every anime character has an ace monster they kind of stick with. Like, Luke's is always Dragius. Like, Yuga's is always Seven's Red Magician. Udius is always Galactica Oblivion. Like, they always kind of have... Like, they have different, like... end game boss monsters, but they're always still going back to their ace, right? So how does China play with outside players if their game is different? Yeah, they just play with Chinese players. This is locked system with just China on its own. Just like I thought, I've seen Chinese players. They don't for Chinese-specific version of Duel Links. A lot of Chinese players still play the global version, though. Yeah, a lot of them play in like the GRF and the KCC, and then they just get like... I think we've even had a couple of players qualify for Worlds, but because they've been from China, they haven't been eligible. So they just like pass over them. So they're just flexing on people, being like, yeah, I could have gone to Worlds. I can't because legally I'm not allowed to, or because of the terms of service, or however, whatever we're calling it, they're not allowed to go. But they're just like, yeah, I'm just good enough that I could have gone. Wow, the new sites and games are different in China, but I did not know about Duel Links. Yes, I highly recommend, if you're interested in the Duel Links China stuff, I would check out Brad's YouTube, because he has a lot of videos that do go quite deep in depth with some of their systems, the changes, and some of like the interesting stuff that happens like news-wise. So personally, it's my favorite content that Brad puts out. I absolutely love the Duel Links China stuff. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is so crazy fractured. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I do remember hearing something about Yu-Gi-Oh! Being different in China. Technically, the ace slot switches around. Like I was watching a clip of Luke, and Shockley Dragon is also called his ace. I don't think anyone would actually consider Shockley Dragon Luke's ace. That sounds very strange to me. That's just another boss he uses. Like, I don't think anyone's ace ever actually changed, except maybe you could make the argument for Manabu. Or Maddox, if we're going for the English name. Because he originally played Chemicalized Salamander, and then it kind of felt like his ace just swapped to the maximum. Now, he never stops playing Salamander. It's always in his deck, but it really feels like it takes a back seat to the maximum. That's the only one that I think I personally would say, okay, maybe his ace swapped. And thank you for the follow, Simutzi. I'm going to go with Simutzi. Welcome, welcome. Also explain there are so many level 7 or 8 monsters that don't even revolve around their theme, just to give them options. Oh, yeah. I actually never ran into a local person in Duel Links, and I am not Chinese. I mean, that's going to happen, right? There's so many people that play it, and a vast majority of the people that play Duel Links are going to be from very specific countries. You're primarily going to find people from America. You're primarily going to find people from Japan. There are going to be a lot of other countries in there, but depending on what time of day you also queue, you'll have a lot of different people, because it'll be prime time for different zones, right? That's just how things are going to go. I saw the VFriend GRF guys replays, so then I assume they chose to play the global version. It would make sense, right? Just waiting to see how the story mode they're getting at the end of the month turns out. They've not said anything about it yet. Yeah, I'm also very interested to see what happens there. But again, to be fair, I feel like Duel Links China could do anything, and I'd be interested in it. I'm interested in what their ban lists are. I'm interested in what their box products are, their little side modes. I'm interested to see if they're going to do anything else, because at the moment they've got like a GOAT format as like a separate mode. And I think Rush was going on there, but hasn't yet. So I'm curious to see what happens with that. This is what I meant. It's like the Rush players have multiple aces. I mean, in that same clip, Luke still summons Dragius. And the way I see it is that as long as you see fit, you can have up to 2 to 3 ace slots in your deck, which are monsters of your choice. I get what you're saying, and I sort of agree. But from a narrative standpoint, I think every other character just always has a singular ace. Like, even when even when Yuga keeps swapping between his maximums, I still don't think they ever replace Seven's Red Magician as his ace, because they don't get as much, like, screen time, they don't get as much, like, centerpiece of his deck. I've always thought, like, a lot of the other characters are just kind of what they are. But this was another thing. I mean, we haven't played Shadowverse in a long time, especially not on stream, but this is, like, the new Shadowverse update. Turn this down a smidge, it's a little bit loud. So this is like the Shadowverse Battlefest Volume 4. So the Battlefest, obviously this is the 4th one they've done, is basically you choose a team to support, and then like you duel and earn points for your team. It's very strange. I don't even know how I feel about Shadowverse anymore. I used to, when this game first came out, I absolutely loved it. I was like, this is so cool. It's very refreshing to play this after playing just Rush for so long. But I think Shadowverse has a fundamental issue that makes me not enjoy it anymore. And it's sort of an issue it's always had. And that is, when you get to like 9 or 10 play points, it feels like the game could just sort of end. Like, you could just kind of burst your opponent down, even from like full health. And I've never really enjoyed that aspect of it. It's like, it turns it back into like just OTKing each other. And I feel like with every set that's come out, it's gotten easier and easier to just kill someone from full health when you get to like 10 play points. Which, I don't know. Personally, I like card games because there is a good amount of back and forth. There is a good amount of, like, ramping up. There's a good amount of, like, intrigue as you do that. So, whenever it's like, oh, we're just gonna kill each other really, really quickly, I've just been like, that doesn't super interest me. And I suppose it's another fundamental issue with Rush in Duel Links, which is, with the addition of skills, and with the addition of having a smaller deck, and with the addition of losing 2,000 life points, it means you could just kill each other out of nowhere, which in my opinion is, again, the worst thing about Rush Duel Links. So, I feel like all of the digital card games are going down the same route, which is, we want games to be quick and snappy, and the best way to make games quick and snappy is to make it so everyone is OTKing each other. And in my opinion, that is so antithetical to what a card game is, that I'm like, the most fun thing about a card game is back and forth, drawn out games. But obviously, you know, there are exceptions. We don't want to, like, floodgate each other. We don't want to be stalling. We just want back and forth, right? I do something, you respond. You do something, I respond. Back and forth, and we're exchanging blows, right? So whenever it's just, like, OTKing each other all the time, I'm like, not a fan. Not a fan. Every single man, a game like that, Hearthstone PvZ Heroes has that problem. I would know I've been playing PvZ Heroes since the release of Set 2. Who is that distinguished gentleman? Is that Sora Mia in the chat? Hello, Sora Mia. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, we're just vibing. You know how it be. So I suppose the other thing to talk about is going to be that we did have a new tier list update. I think yesterday? I think it was yesterday we had this tier list update. Which is interesting. So Therian has been moved down from tier 0. And then, I mean, there is so much to be said about it. Sora Mia is going for a duel challenge. Oh boy. Oh boy, Sora Mia. Oh boy. No more vibing. It's Rush Duel time. Okay, we'll play against you in a duel challenge if you want. I'll go ahead and make a room. I'm going to assume we're playing Rush. Because, I mean, this account ain't doing much else. We'll swap these two around. Just in case people join for the sake of it, we'll just bump that up. Alright, there's your room ID. Before we continue, I actually wanted to ask, when can we expect the next few episodes of Zexal? Every Wednesday. Unless I am busy, for whatever reason, on a Wednesday, it will be every Wednesday at the same time. We will be doing 6 episodes every week. That is the plan. I just realised I have no way of knowing when Sora joins the room if I leave this up. So tomorrow. Yes, exactly. Right, it's only one person in the room. Because I don't think, like, visually here, I can tell when someone joins. From before, you now know a lot more about the number cards. Let's hope the information comes in helpful. I'm sure it will. Oh, where's the Sora person? Ah, so slow. There we go. Someone's in. Let's hope it's Sora. It is. Alright. I'm opening the game, man. Calm down. You're the one that issued the challenge and wasn't ready for the challenge. I'm just saying, that's a you problem. Sora Mia stalling the Rebels gameplay. Yeah, we are going to be playing the Royal Rebels. This is almost 1-to-1 of a human's list. So if we lose, it's a human's fault, not ours, right? I'm pretty sure that's how that works. This is the difference. We're playing this card instead of the vanilla that a human was playing. I will say, though, I ended up dueling a old friend who was coming back. Pretty nail and tooth, back and forth, like Galaxy Dark Galaxy, and he beat me without the use of fusion. That's always a nice one. Okay. I don't really know how I want to be playing this, so we're just going to kind of wing it, I think. I'll go ahead and reveal Shout. Summon this out. Then we'll normal Shout. I guess we're going to go ahead and hit him with a selection. Why can't can't we use the skill? What's currently locking us from using the skill? We should have only light attribute fiend monsters. That should be true. Don't know why I can't use the skill. There's probably a obvious reason I just don't know. We'll just swing. You run Shut for the discard? Yes. We're running Shout because it can basically turn off Shiny Shady. And, like, it's 300 attack difference, right? Numbers are being destroyed by battle from non-numbers. The anime is lying to you. Real. Where is the Royal Rebel deck explanation? I mean, since when have we ever done a Royal Rebel deck explanation at the start? Effects were negated, numbers of effect. If it was negated, then it would be able to be destroyed. I still don't know why I couldn't use the skill. What was locking us out of using the skill? Sending a level 7 or 8 monster, which we have. Hand to the graveyard. That's also true, as it should be. Place up to 2 level 7 or 8 monsters from your hand or graveyard onto the defense position. Oh, is it because we don't have anything in the graveyard yet? That shouldn't matter. What was your extra deck? Completely irrelevant. It is a bunch of Chronicle cards. One down. 2 down. Oh! Does it lock because of the extra deck? Oh! Is it specifically say extra deck in it? I see, I see. I genuinely didn't know. Why would it even lock the extra deck? That's so... I suppose, yeah, because it's the new change, right? Because we just built this off of an old list. Well, guys, we're 1-0 up. No. It happened to all of us, don't worry. It's just like... Like, obviously, the skill, I don't believe, used to give a shit, right? I think that was a change, right? Great deck name. Exactly. That's why we were speculating about the follower fusion. Yeah, but there's still no reason for it, right? Like, you can't fuse into anything else, so I still don't understand the lock. Like, why they would bother having the lock there. I guess it doesn't really matter. I think we're just going to go for this. Now, we could have kept one of the high levels in the hand, because that sets us up for the skill for next turn. But I think that is a little bit greedy, only having one monster on the field. The other thing we could have done is kept a card in hand for our trap, but at the same time, I don't think that... Obviously, we have the prior knowledge that this is Cyber Dragon, so, like, there is that, but... Okay. Innovator comes down, sets a monster. Tribute summon Cyber Dragon, so we can activate Fusion. I scooped to have a fair game. Nah, we were going to win that anyway. We don't need a skill. If they don't use Curse, they stream sniping. If they don't use Curse, they stream sniping. I wanted them to set back row. I now can't use any of my back row. Okay. I mean, we'll do what we can, but this is pretty dire. So I can bring these two back. Add this back. There's no reason to use this, right? Yeah, it literally doesn't do anything. Oh, we can send the top card of that to the graveyard. Does that matter? In this matchup, does that matter at all? I don't think so. So, Tribute. Summon this out. Activate the effect. Summon out Shout. Go to battle, and then we'll get in with both of these. Imagine we open one more monster. Just one more monster. Just one more. Proto Cyber Dragon. Cyber Processor. Ultimate Flag Beast Surge Bicorn. Okay. Fusion comes down. Cyber Rush. I mean, I think we do this, right? We'll flip both of these down. Avarice comes down. That's fine. He would need to have basically custom to salvage this into anything, like, really big. They don't us flexing at extra deck. Real. I'm out again. Too much for My Hero Academy watch along. Watch through. I'm going to watch the VOD later if the OCG reveals stuff. Okie dokie. Well, there is freed off the top. That's pretty good. But if it's just freed, that's kind of fine. Okay, so now we need to draw a 7 or 8. Well, there's a 7 or 8. What is the best way to go about this? I mean, we just kill, right? Because we could just use this, burn, and that's just GG. How many times can we do this effect? Once per duel. We can only add once per duel. So if I use the effect, discard this, summon out 2. That doesn't work out. So I want to... I think I just summon both of these. Tribute both for Hard Rock. And then just attack over it for 800, right? Like, straight up. I don't think there's, like... I don't think we have to get, like, too fancy with this. Boop. Nice. Worst mirror ever to be played. Just attack. We did just attack. Right, we always do a best of 3. And obviously that first game didn't count, so... What's the worst mirror? The Royal Rebel mirror? Royal Rebel mirrors were always pretty dire back in the day. I don't know about, like, now, but... Well, that is a hand. One thing I've noticed is, Sora isn't really playing any back row. And we're playing 6 back row hate. Tribute sets. That's a Cyber Dragon or a Cyber Processor. I'd probably open like double Cyber Dragon, maybe. Alright. Not exactly the sexiest turn, but that's what we got. Avaricious Destiny Draw! Cyber Serpent. Flip up Cyber Dragon. Activate Cyber Serpent. Double spell. My guess is he's probably playing like Pot of Avarice and then just like 3 fusion, and that might be his entire spell trap lineup. Okay, bring that back. So that's just changed his name to Cyber Dragon. I kind of want to issue a duel challenge for Tomato to win a game playing each maximum piece once. That's not really a duel challenge. Our duel challenge is just, you duel me. You can't make me play something. I have Escape Ultra Ball Tier 2 Purgatory with Helping Hand Earthquake Chomp. Helping Hand? I assume not, like, the Helping Hand isn't on the Garchomp. Okay. What's the card we kept? Is it going to be another copy of Leading Actor? Oh, Steel Mechlord Mirror Innovator. Okay. I mean, this is fine. I will take 12. I think here we are going to use Nobody Phantom Thief because I don't really want my back row clogged. We're going to keep these two. You know, I think these two are pretty good to keep. So that back row has to be Pot of Avarice, right? We put it back in his hand. I mean, that's just funny. I guess we Pot of Greed either way. We don't have access to any piercing. We could just pop 2. We know his back row's nothing. Summon. Swing over that. Get in for 21. That'd be 46 plus 15. So that's lethal. Okay. So we use this. I'll send this to the grave. Then I'm going to bring back these two. Don't need to add a card to hand. Activate Perion. We'll go ahead and use Genie because we have it. We bounce that. Oh, have I messed this up? I think I have. I can't summon both of these now. Ah, that's annoying. Ah, was there ever a way to do it then? I don't think there was. Maybe there wasn't. Maybe there was never a way to find lethal here. Either way, I've goofed it, because I can't summon this now. We can activate your effect either way. You could have buffed your cul-de-sac. Would that have been lethal damage, though? I don't think that would have been lethal, right? Could you have added with the skill? Oh, yes, I could have added with the skill. Yeah, that would have been the line. I was like, I don't need to use it. But no, yeah, you're absolutely right. If I had added with the skill, I would have had the extra card in hand to win. Well, that's fine. This is like our first game with the deck, right? So it's fine. Actually about to lose a game in character deck duels because of Dante? Oh god, no. Okay, so, I mean, we know that we would have won if we weren't an idiot. If we had the foresight to be like, okay, we actually needed to have room to summon out cul-de-sac. So, like, that's fine. I mean, we might still win anyway, right? It is still just Cyber Dragons. That's why we're the experts. Exactly, exactly. That's exactly why you're here. You're here to coach me to victory. Ultimate Flag Beast. Berserker. Let's go. Leading Actor. That'll get him the fusion back. And the Actor. Cyber Processor effect. He could just leave the gap there. He's not. He's going to bring it back. So we're going to fuse these two together. Nope, we're just going to go straight into this. So we're going to summon out Sword Dancer. Okay. Activate fusion. Into Ashura Star. Pops the buffered slime. Activate Innovator. Time to innovate. 2, 3. Goes to battle phase. Goes for the swing. We'll go ahead and hit him with the widespread. So we can summon out the cul-de-sac as our last. We can summon out either or. That's 28, so I could crash into it if I wanted to, but we're probably better off killing it. We do have Doom in Graveyard, so we could just go Doom, right? So we'll activate the skill. We'll send this. Then I'll bring back you and you. Add back Doom. You can activate your effect to boost you up and you up. We tribute 1, tribute 2, summon out Doom, activate Doom. I'm pretty sure I don't need to do this, but we'll just play it safe. We did it! We did it! Yeah! I mean, if Sora was playing a real deck, we probably would have got bullied. I was trying to think if we should save a replay or not. I don't think we need to save a replay, but if we were going to save a replay, I think the second one was the best one. We'll save it and we'll probably get rid of it. We're probably not going to keep this replay, but we'll save it anyway. Alright. Anyway, back to our yapping sesh before we got rudely interrupted by Soramiya wanting to play a card game on the card game stream. Ugh. GG, Soramiya, GG's. Again, I think you would have absolutely probably bodied me if you played a real deck. Absolutely. A widespread is the best Rebel card. Real. But yeah, we were talking about this. Tachyon got bumped up. Eldritch is still here. For me personally, again, I don't really have any interest in speed in its current format, which is kind of sad because I did want to play Machina, which is... Hello, Kazumi. Welcome on in. So with that said and done, I guess we'll talk a little bit about the Rush meta because it has seen a little bit of innovation as of late. So this is... Wait, that's not right. Why are we on the wrong one? There we go. So this is the current format. I don't know how we managed to get onto there, but this is our current best performing decks. So, High Tech. Currently the best performing deck, and I'm sure the latest a couple of events have done something to bolster this number a little bit. E-Hero currently the second best performing deck in tournaments. Then Gradius, thanks to Sat getting his win yesterday, has bumped this up. Then Noodles, Noodle Bros. This is the weirdest thing for me. How is Red Eyes Meteor? How on earth is Red Eyes Meteor still down all the way here? Underperforming compared to Noodles. That is so weird to me. What is High Tech? High Tech is... It used to be called Red Boot. But Red Boot was the name of it because it was just Red Boot Burst Dragon, the deck. That's all the deck used to be. But the archetype, or depending on who you're talking to, the series it's from, is called High Tech. High Tech is basically Bluetooth plus Red Boot plus all the other deck cards that are similar to that. That's called High Tech. Gradius is actually a thing. Yeah, Gradius is doing really well. It's doing very, very well. Our Rushdoor community is so small they decide their own meta. I mean, they do, to an extent, absolutely. But it's still worth to take a look at the information here, right? I still find keeping track of the data very interesting. It's my dad, then. He must have reincarnated. Exactly, real. People is probably bored of the best decks. The thing is, High Tech is still one of the best decks. And Hero is still one of the best decks. And Gradius is still one of the best decks. So, like, these are all still true. Meteor is the only outlier of, like, yeah, this is actually one of the best decks that is just not seeing play. Which is interesting. I personally think it's very, very interesting. I like the fact that since Music Princess dropped, every other deck is just winning a tourney. I mean, that's good, right? That's what we like to see. It's why I assume Aqua is gone. Well, Aqua is in a weird spot. So Aqua didn't lose a lot, but Aqua is kind of being kept around, I think, because of Music Princess. Aqua has a really bad matchup into E-Hero, a really bad matchup into Gradius, and a really bad matchup into Red Eyes Meteor. So I think the more these decks are popping off, the worse Aqua feels. Except High Tech. I think Aqua actually has an okay matchup into High Tech. So, like, if high-tech ends up being super dominant, maybe Aqua could make a bit of a comeback. Okay, but Red Eyes is boring on its own. I mean, kind of. I think the Red Eyes loop of actually the way that you get to your bosses is quite fun. I like the whole, like, you get a plus, then you get a plus, then you get a plus, then you get a plus, and you get to, like, spin a lot of plates to end up on what is effectively quite a boring board. Because at the end of the day, what you do is you go, I'm going to summon a monster that is unaffected by some of your trap cards, and I'm going to pop some of your stuff out the way, and that's the deck, right? There's not really much more to it than that. So I can understand, like, the end board being quite boring in Red Eyes. I quite like getting to that end board. I didn't even know Gradius was a thing. That surprised me. Yeah, it's a reasonably strong deck, and we've just recently seen it win a tournament. If we go back over to here, we can take a look at the list quick. This was Sack's version, Avaricious Destiny Draw, which is the skill we just saw Amir playing, and this is the list. Fundamentally, it is just pure Gradius. There is, like, no spice in here at all. This is as pure Gradius as Gradius gets, except we're not playing the Gradius skill, because the Gradius skill, although in some situations is really, really good, sometimes not so good. So this is a weird thing I've seen, which is a lot of the time, if you watch people who are playing Avaricious Destiny Draw play, they get themselves into situations where if they just had access to full custom, they would be able to win the game. But because they're an Avaricious Destiny Draw, they don't have that access. So they're very reliant on beating set monsters with multiple effect. Which is still fine. Multiple is still a really good card. But in some ways, using this skill holds them back. In other ways, it gives them a more well-rounded game plan because they're access to more cards more often. And as everyone knows, plussing in a card game is really good. So just being able to have a way to plus, because this skill is sort of a +2, right? So this lets you add it to your hand. So if you had a 5 cards to your normal draw instead until you have 6 cards. So this is a +1 because you're adding Avarice to your hand. And then if you resolve Avarice, Avarice is also a +1. So this skill is sort of a +2, which is really good. Believe me, once we start getting into monsters that are affected by card effects, then we are going to have a problem. I mean, we don't have much of that in Rush in general, so I don't think we probably ever will. It's going the journey up the destination, exactly. Maybe Konami will learn their lesson. That's the thing. There were already some Rush cards like that. They might not put them in Duel Links. Yeah, I would expect that we're not going to get anything that just, like, ignores card effects. For the most part, we don't really have any of that in... I'm trying to think if in Rush Duel at all we have unaffected by card effects, full stop. We've got, like, a lot of can't be destroyed by card effects. I don't think we have any just can't be affected by card effects. The only example I can think of is Majesty of Outerverse, and that isn't officially printed. I mean, which one's... I assume it's going to be in here, right? No, it's not in here. Except Dynamajesty, Dynakaiser is very important. I mean, I can... If I do this, and we'll hop over here quick. Oh, that's the wrong one. We hop over here. Why is it, like, spaced out in such a weird way on here? What if I do that? No, that's not helpful either. Alright. Look at that. Almost. There we go. Alright, let's have a look at Majesty. He's not even a card! If it's not even a card, it doesn't count. Anime exclusive, the ritual. Right, well, if it's a ritual, it's probably going to have its effect changed when it comes over to TCG anyway. That's generally how cards work. So, like, I wouldn't worry too much about that, let's just say. Let's jump back over to here. But yeah, all in all, interesting. Join Tech still here, Light Galaxy, Vocalize Phoenix, Dark Galaxy Fusion, Music Princess, and Befriend. All interesting lists. We didn't expect to see Music Princess come back. Befriend obviously just did well in the current tournament. Dark Galaxy Fusion, this was piloted by Mila Nesso, I believe. Vocalize Phoenix, this was again in yesterday's tournament. And then Light Galaxy, this was Dwan, I believe. I believe this was Dwan. It's literally the Ritual Otis pulled 3 of out, and it was 30,000 attack points total and unaffected by card effects. Is that showing V-Friend in top 4s? Yeah, so this is... V-Friend has had 1 top 4 finish. And because of that, it gains... If we take a look over here, top 4 is 2 points. And that's how we stat weight it. So that, like, performing better does better. If you win, you get 4 points. If you come second, you get 3 points. Third and fourth, 2 points, and 1 point for a top 8. Just looking at pie chart, make you hungry. Oh, we got pie charts for days. We have so many. So this is representation. So this is like the actual numbers of decks. This is their stat weighting. What are we talking about now? We're talking about Rush Meta. Rush Meta Whistle. Majesty of Outerverse was unaffected. They did Ultimate Trinity Stargazer 600 attack decrease work. Maybe I'm getting confused with can be destroyed by card effects. It's probably can't be destroyed by card effects, but it could be. Right, we are about to have an ad break. When we do have the ad break, I'm going to pop to the bathroom quick so that I don't get interrupted while we go through the OCG stuff, because that's the next thing we're going to be doing, which is taking a look at the Rush OCG stuff. So, we're going to be right back now. I'm going to run an ad, and then we'll look at the OCG stuff. And we're back. Welcome back. Now that I have relieved myself, I can focus on the stream, because there's nothing worse than trying to concentrate on being somewhat charismatic and energetic when you need to pee. So, now it's time to go and take a look at the OCG Rush reveals. I haven't read any of this, so this is all going to be fresh. Let's take a look. This is new card game point playmats for OCG. I don't know what that means. What is card play point playmats? Are these like playmats you can earn? Either way, interesting. We have new card game point playmats. Again, alright, I'm not gonna lie, guys. This Spark Hearts one goes kind of hard. This one does go kind of hard. I do kind of like this one. Can't play Rush when you need to rush to the bathroom. Exactly, Ballasparkle. Exactly. I'm not a huge fan of the top one. Like, this is the zombie ritual generic that gets back ritual spells from the graveyard. I forget what she's called. I don't think she's an interesting enough card to make a playmat out of. Spark Hearts is like an entire archetype, right? And there's lots of references to the ritual spells and some of the monsters on here. So, like, I think this actually looks quite good. Is anything else in here even Rush related? Is this Rush? I don't think this is Rush related. I don't even know who this is. Then the Asia Regional. I mean, again, all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Art looks fantastic, right? So there's that. But anyway, nothing particularly big there. Right, Clad Dragon alternate artwork. We did already see this. I think Corey sent this to us, but like this is the default art, and then we got like the alt art where she has like dragon hand, and the whole thing is like they transform from the girls into the dragons, I believe is the idea behind this. But we're going to go and take a look at them now, because I believe we should get some cards soon. Headliner of Reigning. So this is going to be a Royal Rebel box, I'm guessing. Their Eternal Metal Apocalypse. The second 2026 Rush Duel Core Booster Pack, Headliner of Reigning, will be released August 22nd. This pack will include a brand new Ace monster for the Royal Rebels, used by Kirishima Roa from Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, as well as cards to bolster the deck overall. Also, there will be many cards included to expand the world of Rush Duel original card, Priestess of Star Salvation. Allowing you to build an entire theme around her with the cards. Do we care about Priestess of Star Salvation? As well, there'll be 2 cards reprinted in the highlight rarity Fort of Rush Rare, 1 card game, both with brand new artwork, premium black. Okay. I mean, let's have a quick peek at Priestess's Star Salvation quick. I assume she'll probably be in here. Shuffle Fusion from your graveyard into the deck. Draw a card. Wait, is this? Why does this need its own archetype? I'm confused a little bit about this. Also, we're just about to get a worm archetype, right? I'm very confused. So it's just Dragon Maid? I believe so. I believe it's basically just Dragon Maid. I mean, either way, this is weird. Let's continue on. So Rise Above Oblivion with new Light Galaxy cards. All right, so this is the one that everyone was pogging over. This is the one where everyone's like super, super excited. This card looks beautiful, right? This card looks amazing. But this is so unreadable. If someone put this down on the table where I was playing, I'd be like, this is a great art piece. I would love to have this as like a poster on the wall. I don't really like it as a card, if I'm being completely honest. There's some sort of disease that turns them into a dragon. I mean, that's interesting. I haven't like looked into like the lore. I'm more interested in like mechanically how they work because again, I'm pretty sure some of them are revealed, so we'll get to see some of them in a minute. But overall, this is, again, this looks lovely. This is gorgeous, this art. This looks amazing. I don't think I like it as a trading card. Isn't this a vanilla? Yes, it is a vanilla. Hello, Neo. Welcome, welcome. Because she will be the one to destroy Cosmo Princess. Hello, Mono. We already did give a Mono shout-out earlier, but we'll do another Mono shout-out now. Hello, hello, Mono. Welcome, welcome. It's a normal monster. Remove the text. I mean, I kind of get that, but I guess for some reason they need it on there. But again, it looks amazing. It does look incredible. So then we have Enceladu Stellar Slime. Enclad? Enceladust? Enceladust? I don't know what this word is meant to be, but this is the artwork for it. So send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. For the rest of this turn, this card's name becomes Interstelline, and you can choose 1 Light Galaxy monster of 1000 attack or fusion in your graveyard and add it to the hand. If you add, you cannot activate the effect of this for the rest of the turn, so you just can't like loop these basically. This card is really good. This is just straight up good. If there are any 1000 attack Light Galaxy monsters that do anything, this is good. Being able to get back fusion is always going to be a plus, but the fact that you can also get back just tribute fodder or anything that does anything else is also just good. This is just fantastic. Are there ever enough mono shoutouts? I mean, not really, let's be honest. Alright, Light Galaxy Civil Twi-Rider. Okay. So 900 attack, 1200 defense. Shuffle 2 Galaxy monsters, so not specifically Light Galaxy, from your graveyard into the deck. For the rest of this turn, if you attribute summon a Light Galaxy monster in attack position, you can treat this card as 2 tributes. Then you can choose 1 Oblivion or Vanishing Heliacal Riser in your graveyard to the hand. This card is really good. The stats are okay, right? There's nothing wrong with the stats. Shuffling is always good in the same way that milling is always good. You always want to have the option to recycle cards back in. You always want to have the option to fill your graveyard with stuff. So, really good effect. We can use this to basically +1 because we're always going to be playing Galactica Oblivion with this card anyway, so it should always have value. And it also gives us a +1. So this is sort of a +2, right? Because we get a discount on the summon of a boss, and we get an extra card back to our hand. This card is amazing. This card is so good. Galactica Rising Oblivion. So, level 9, 3200 attack. Galactica Oblivion and Vanishing Heliacal Riser. So the issue this has is this is 2 boss monsters. During your main phase, this card was fusion summoned. That's also rough, because that means after the first turn it's summoned, this card does nothing. So if this thing gets hit with a Shady, it's just a vanilla. Shuffle all cards in your opponent's field into the deck. For the rest of this turn, you cannot attack except with this card. Okay. That's interesting. The big issue is, it's only a 3200, but this is a really good finisher. If you get your opponent to like 32 or less, and then you just go into this, you just win if your opponent hasn't got an answer to it. Any chance you think we'll be getting any of this card on the maze structure or box? I doubt it. I very much doubt it. If we were going to get any of them, like out of the cards we've seen so far, maybe we'd get Rider. But because it has Vanishing Heliacal Riser in it, it would be a bit of a weird card to get unless we got another Vanishing Heliacal Riser skill. There are still so many Light Galaxy cards to come that I don't think we're going to like jump ahead and get all of these ones like early. It would just be a bit weird. Right, Resurrection Heliacal Riser. Level 8 Light Galaxy Fusion made using Heliacal Riser and any level 4 or lower Light Galaxy monster. Okay. Send the top card of the deck to the graveyard. That's good. For the rest of this turn, this card's name becomes Vanishing Heliacal Riser. Then you can choose one level 7 Galaxy monster in your graveyard and special summon it to your field. Face up. For the rest of this turn, you cannot activate the effect of Resurrection Heliacal Riser. Okay. So, we summon this out, ideally by getting a discount. So we summon this out for 1 tribute. Then we summon out any level 4 or lower. We fuse them. Then we get back any level 7 Galaxy monster from our graveyard, which could be the Vanishing Heliacal Riser that we put there. Ideally, though, it would be a Oblivion instead. This card's not bad. It's not bad. It being 2 bosses isn't much of a problem, to be honest. It's just a bridge into the other fusion. Yeah, I mean, you say that. I think it is actually a very big problem that this is made using 2 bosses. There isn't really a good way to get both of these monsters onto the board super easily. So you could be like, oh, you could use Secret Order to summon Oblivion, and you could go use Rider to go into Heliacal Riser. Well, now what we're saying is we have to very specifically find a lot of these different cards. So the other thing is you could go into the Resurrection Heliacal Riser, right? Then you could use Resurrection to bring back the Galactica Oblivion, and then you've got both the materials you need because this guy's name changes, but now you're down a fusion because none of these are contact fusions, so you have to use a fusion spell to summon this. Then if you wanted to go into the other one, you'd need another fusion spell, which is like super awkward. Personally, I think these cards look okay. I think they look really good to an extent, but I think for me these two stand out as being really, really good. This is like okay. This is like a good finisher, depending on the situation. This has potential. The biggest issue is, again, we have to have a way to get Vanishing Heliacal Riser out easily. If we don't have a way to do that, this is dead on arrival. If we're summoning, tributing 2 to summon, already, if that is your preferred way to do it, if that's the most common way you're going to summon this boss out, that is a major problem in the current OCG metagame. That is way too many resources for not enough of a payoff. So, like, there's potential. There's potential. Then we have, what, Interscrime. This just looks like Interstellime, here's a knife, go do crime. Like, is what this card looks like. We just get, like, a gang of them. So, level 4 Light Galaxy Fusion effect, 2000 attack, Interstellime and Interstellime. You can contact fusion. That's really big. Because, again, this is the only contact, I think, out of these so far. Send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Fusion summon 1 Light Galaxy monster saying monsters from your hand and or field to the graveyard, including this card. So we have to use this. So this is a way that we go into this, I guess. So so now we have to get 2 Interstellime. Does this thing change its name to Interstellime? Yes, it does. Okay, so we have 6 copies of Interstellime. We fuse 2 of them into this. Then we can use this to go into this without having to tribute summon Heliacal Riser. But even if we do all of that... No, I guess it's fine, because we haven't even used a copy of Fusion yet, right? We've summoned it without using a Fusion spell card. It's awkward, but it works. I think this is actually really good. This kind of fixes a lot of the problems. Right, Vanishing Attack. If your opponent controls a monster, choose a Vanishing Heliacal Riser or Galactic Oblivion in your graveyard and special summon it to your field face up. For a card called Vanishing Attack, this is not very attacky. I mean, this is okay. I think this is fine. I would probably play this card. I don't know how many copies, but I would probably play it. Galactic Fusion Space. This is the awkward field spell. So while this card is face up in the field zone, if either player fusion summons a light or dark galaxy monster with the effect of fusion, they can also use light or dark galaxy monsters in their hand as material. I personally don't like this. I don't think this is worth taking up a spot. This card doesn't do anything on its own. It doesn't give you a plus. It doesn't do anything useful. You have to already have everything else set up for this card to do anything. And the rest of these cards help you fuse anyway. Which makes me feel like this is just not worth playing. Alright. Electroplate with Rising Hero. Time for the Rising Heroes. Now this is what I'm actually interested in. So Argent R. Level 3. 1400 attack, 1000 defense. This card's name is Rising Hero Argent while in the graveyard. During your main phase, that this card was normal or special summons, send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Then you could choose one Rising Equip in your graveyard and add it to the hand. So I don't know how to evaluate this card without reading that. But already, it's a bit of a shame this is only the main phase it was normal summoned. Obviously, to make the card better, you just want it to be used whenever, right? A Fuse Gate, Scrap Gate with a better requirement, worse effect. Yes, basically. Is there a potato archetype yet? There is... I mean, there's like the Hungry Burger archetype. That's probably the best one, or the closest one. Might be the first time I've ever thought a hero looks cool. He does look cool. He looks like a Power Ranger, right? Or like, what do they call it? Beetleborgs or something? He looks like one of them. So we have Rising Unit, level 7, 2000 attack, 1000 defense. You contribute this summon by contributing 1 warrior, so that's already a lot better, right? This is something we see a lot on level 7 and higher monsters, is they can be tribute summoned for only 1 tribute. So that's already pretty good. During the main phase, this card was normal or special summoned. Again, only on the turn it was summoned. Is a bit restrictive, and sometimes is going to be annoying. Choose one level 3 light warrior monster with 1000 defense in your graveyard, and add it to the hand. For the rest of this turn, you cannot attack with monsters except light warrior monsters. So, also, because he himself is a light warrior monster, it has to be level 3, has to be level 3, okay. Are you level 3? You are level 3. I assume Argent is also level 3. This is fine. This isn't, like, great. This is fine. Unless we find something else to do with this. It's just kind of fine. Okay. So, Rising Hero Argent O. Level 9. 2500 attack. A warrior with 1000 defense and Rising Unit. Okay, so that is the reason to play Rising Unit. We summon. We tribute over for Unit. Unit brings back probably the card we tributed. We fuse them together into this. During a turn, you have not special summoned a monster. You can shuffle this face-up card on your field into the owner's deck. Right. Choose one card on your opponent's field and destroy it. That's a good effect. Then you can fusion summon Rising Hero Argent O by shuffling monsters from your graveyard into the deck as material. What are we doing? What? Right, so we have to summon this normally. Then... on a turn, we have not special summoned a monster. So not the turn we summon it. This is weird. Why? What? Am I crazy? There's got to be more support that makes this make sense, right? So not the turn that we summon this. So bearing in mind, most of the time you would summon this and then it would die on the following turn, on your opponent's turn. We could shuffle this face-up card on your field into the owner's deck. Then we get to pop a card. Then we get to fusion it using, theoretically, the monsters that were in the graveyard used to summon it the first time. So, like, that all makes sense. But this line makes no sense to me at all. How are you supposed to use this? There's Potato Monster in normal Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know if we have it in Rush. Perhaps not. Argent is 4. I don't get this at all. Okay, maybe this trap will like summon it during our opponent's turn. Maybe that's the logic. When your opponent normal or special summons a monster, fusions. Okay, we go. Fusion summon Argent 0 or Argent F by shuffling light monsters from your field or graveyard into the owner's deck as material. Then you can choose one face-up level 8 or lower monster on the field and destroy it. This is okay, but the fact it's level 8 or lower could be really bad. I feel like most of the time, you'll fuse this during your opponent's turn, and then it will just get killed. Because, like, popping an 8 or lower, most of the time is not going to be enough to end someone's turn. Salamangre, if they were rush cards, like effect. Kinda? Rising Equip, normal. You're right, this is Rising Equip. So, this gets us back the trap card. We can then fuse into this, pop a level 8 or lower, hope we keep our guy? I don't know. I don't like this. New Rush Hero Fusions? Yes, we're getting Rising Hero Argent O. And also, we got F, right? So now we have R and O. So it's like, okay, they're gonna spell out Hero, we're gonna get H and E. And then we've got Rising Hero Argent F. So F, O, and H is like Hoff? No, it's R. It was R-O. So Roth or 4 is what we're spelling there. And that's it. That's all the reveals we're getting. So we don't even know what Rising Hero Argent F is, I don't think. I don't know if we've had that revealed already. But I don't like these at the moment. I was really excited for this as well. I don't know if this is going to be good enough. If it didn't have this line of text on it, I'd be like, this is fantastic. Hero Flash, maybe? I mean, potentially. But then you'd need to have so many more, right? Through the best winged beast archetype. Exactly. Wordle archetype. Real. Actually real. Right, the last cards we have to look at is Let's Go Explore the Clad Dragondom. So, one thing that did... So, Manicus did bring this to my attention. These are actually worms. So, originally when we saw these reveal, we were like, okay, they're dragons. They're called dragon, right? They're dragons. No, these are worms. These are worms. So this is the first one. This is what? This looks like the Buster... Is it the Buster Blader support card? This reminds me of. So Light-Clad Dragon Lateth. 0 attack. During the turn this card is normal summoned. Choose a Stellar or 1 level 9 worm monster in your graveyard and add it to the hand. Level 9 worm monsters into the hand. Okay. Is this archetype cute? Hello, Globe, by the way. Welcome. Worms are dragons. I get that, because we even have Bill Dragon and stuff. But whenever you see the word dragon, and you see some of the monsters that look like dragons, you just kind of assume they're dragons, right? So this is Stellar. So this is the card. This gets back Stellar or a level 9. This is the Stellar. So this is the card it can get back. So level 4, 1000 attack, 900 defense. During the main phase, this card was normal or special summoned. Again, this is something that we're seeing a lot of these new cards, which is only the turn that they were normal summoned or turn they were normal or special summoned, which does make it very restrictive. Excavate the top 4 cards of your deck and reveal them. Choose 1 level 7 or higher monster among them and add it to the hand. Place the remaining cards on the bottom. Wait. This is generic? So as long as you're playing a decent amount of level 7 or higher monsters, you could just play this in any deck and just use it to dig through to find them. That's interesting. That's actually really interesting. Okay. Alright, let's see the next one. Shana the Clad Dragon Researcher. So 1200 attack, 900 defense. If there are 10 or more cards in your deck, shuffle 2 worm monsters from your graveyard into the deck. Choose 1 face-up monster on your opponent's field. Change it to face-down defense position. Then you can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. If you send a worm monster with 2400 defense to the graveyard with this effect, then you can add that monster to your hand. So it's like, do we have ways to put worms on top of our deck? I mean, the current worms do. So maybe we'll be combining these with the fire and the earth worms that we currently have. Okay. Astel the Clad Dragon Researcher. So another level 4. During the main phase, this card was normal or special summoned. Send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Then you could send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. If you sent a card from the hand to the graveyard, you could choose a worm monster 2400 defense in your graveyard and add it to the hand. So this isn't plussing you. That's one thing I'm noticing with a lot of these. This is like gambling to plus a lot of the time. This is plussing, but again, we have to make sure that it's in the top 4. So if we have ways to stack the top of our deck, there is some plussing in here. But again, you have to be stacking. Alright, so here we go. Level 7, 2400 defense. So Inferno Clad Dragon Flaggle. Is this going to be like the Dragon Maids, where it's like an anagram of their names? Is any of these cards called Flaggle? Like, not you. Not you. Not you. Okay, so maybe it's not like that. So you can tribute summon this card in attack position by tributing 1 worm monster. Again, really good line of text there. During the main phase, this card was normal or special summoned if your opponent does not control a face-up monster. So we want to flip down their monsters with Shana, and then summon this, I guess. Choose one face-down card in your opponent's field and destroy it. That's a really good effect. For the rest of this turn, you cannot attack with monsters except worms. The issue is, this thing only has 1500 attack, so we're spinning a lot of plates to not get much of a result out of it. So I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe there'll be more stuff, and like we can like fuse this off or something. Alright, this is Verdant Clad Dragon Gree-Ray. This looks like a Magic the Gathering card, guys. This does not look like a Yu-Gi-Oh artwork. Where's my like anime as F picture? Okay, level 8. 24/24. Send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. This card gains 800 attack, so 32 to the end of the turn. If there are no face-up monsters on your opponent's field, then you can choose one face-down card in your opponent's field and shuffle it into the owner's deck. Okay, so I see a theme of us trying to make our opponent's entire board go face-down. Now that is an artwork. That is an artwork. Look at that. Level 9, 2500 attack. Let's see what it does. So this is Magic-Clad Dragon Vizal the Star Eater. So during the main phase, this card was normal or special summoned. Change all face-up monsters on your opponent's field to face-down defense position. So there's no way to cheat this out, as far as we can tell. There's no, like, you could summon this for any one tribute. Same with this one, actually. So we're going to have to find a way to summon these guys easier. But we use this. We can flip our opponent's entire board down. Then we can use this to shuffle it away. We can use this to pop. This one still has god-awful attack stat, though. Oh, here we go. We have Fusion Monster. So we have Cradling an Egg. Kind of weak stats. And we have Hatching from the Egg. I assume these are just alternate arts of the same card. Light-Clad Dragon Egg. Level 5. Worm Fusion. Mage using Stellar and any level 4 or lower Worm monster with Contact Fusion. Okay, Contact Fusion is really, really good. Special summon one level 7 or higher monster from the hand to your field face up. If you special summon a monster whose original type is Worm with this effect, then that monster gains 800 attack and its attacks pierce for the rest of the turn. That's pretty good. So that means you can get this guy up to 4000 attack piercing, and it spins a card from your opponent. But they have to have no face-up monsters to do it. But that could be really good. The issue is you're then stuck with this on the board. So you could then like tribute it off to summon out this, I guess, but then you're just stuck with this with only 1500 attack, which is still kind of yikes. Loot from the Clad Dragondom. Normal spell card. Send a worm monster from the hand, or one face-up worm monster on your field to the graveyard. Draw one card and reveal it. If that card is a worm, again, we have a lot of like look at the top of your deck if it's a worm do stuff cards. Then you can special summon one level 7 or higher worm monster from your hand to your field face up. But this is actually really good. Again, if we have a way to like stack the top of our deck, we have so much we can do with this. Archetype reminds me of Maiden Abyss. Kinda. MTG art is so great, I approve. Exactly. This is just Subterra. Kinda. Subterra is a bit more of like a stoolier deck. I would say this is a bit more proactive. Melody support. Yeah, this absolutely Maiden Abyss. That fusion stats aren't great though. Yeah, that's why we'd have to tribute it off, right? You have to get rid of it. You can't just keep it on the board. Right, researching the Clad Dragondom. So choose one level 5 or lower worm monster with 900 defense in your graveyard. Special summon to your field face up. Wait a minute. So this counts. Okay. That is very important information. For the rest of this turn, if you would tribute summon a worm monster in attack position, you could treat that special summon card as 2 tributes. Oh, okay. So this brings it all together. So we make this, ideally get rid of it, and then on a following turn, or even on the same turn if we want to, we can activate this, bring this back, use its effect to summon a level 7 or higher, then use this as 2 tributes to summon another level 7 or higher. There's a lot going on here. I wonder if there are a lot of plates spinning here and not much payoff. If you get like a god hand, there's obviously a lot you can do with this. Like you could summon this, make everything go down, ideally summon out like both of these, spin something, pop something, Hunky-dory. I wonder how often that's actually going to happen in an actual game. And that is it. That is it for the reveals. That is it. We're done with them. Is that Pokemaster Ian in the chat? This whole archetype auto loses to any maximum monster. Kinda. I mean, you're able to summon this out as a 4K guy. So you can just attack into a 4K. As long as they haven't got more than 4,000 attack, we can trade. So, like, that's kind of fine. And there are a lot of generic cards that can deal with maximums, so that's not the end of the world. But yeah, if a maximum comes down, we're not doing our usual game plan. That's for sure. We have to pivot. I think this is interesting. This is definitely the most interesting thing out of what we've seen. I think the Light Galaxy stuff is okay. It definitely has potential. But, like, I'm not sold on it just yet. I think we'll see what else there is, right? The Rising Hero stuff, I think, just seems kind of mid. Again, if we get more reveals and there's more stuff here that kind of brings it together, there's potential here. But this one line really, I think, ruins their entire reveal for me. And then this deck has a lot of potential. I think this could be a really cool deck. Again, it would depend what other cards we get with it. It's an okay archetype. Right now, it's a clunkier Monarch. Yeah, but again, that's why we're hoping to see more cards to bring it together, right? But then again, we were hoping for that with Charmers, and I don't think anything really brought the Charmers together. Like, people thought, like, the Field Spell would do it. Personally, I'm still not a Charmer believer. Like, Charmer is like a fine engine, not so much a whole deck. That's kind of the way I look at it. I think this has potential. If we get, like, a few more really good cards, maybe there's something there. But, with that all done, there's one last thing to talk about, and that is Rush Duel Dynasty 38 is happening today. And I will be streaming it. I'm going to be streaming this alongside Grind. So, the plan is, we'll finish this stream. I'll get everything I need to get done. Go and eat food, obviously, because we don't want to be trying to stream on an empty stomach. And then we will be streaming this tournament alongside Grind. So I do hope that people do sign up. If you want me to cast your games, you'll have to be there. So I'll go ahead and link that in the chat if anyone is interested in signing up. Obviously, I haven't refreshed. This is probably more than just one person signed up. But this will be a good one. So if you want to see me cast yet another tournament, obviously we've done a couple of league matches in the past. And we have done the, the Deckmaster Cups. So if you want to see more of that, that will be this evening. That is going to be the plan. Hello, Victor. The funny thing is, reveals imply Reporter might get a new fusion due to the set code. Yes, we are almost certainly getting a Reporter fusion. At least I hope we do. I really hope we do. What time UK? This will be 7 PM BST, British Standard Time. So that will be in what, 4 hours? About 4 hours. So that is the plan. We're going to be jumping in with that, which will be a good time. Now, as I'm sure everyone has been patiently waiting, we are now actually going to play Rush outside of playing against Soramia in the duel challenge. So we're going to be jumping into rank. We're going to see how this goes. We've had a little bit of warm-up with Sora, so hopefully we won't be completely awful at this. Let's see what happens. Hopefully, we'll get some good matches. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If anyone is actually queuing for Rush, that is. Alright, let's see what our first opponent is going to be. Question mark, question mark, question mark from Japan. Playing Yuga Odo. So is this going to be... This could be a bunch of different stuff. This could be like the Avaricious Destiny draw that we have just seen. What do I want to do with this hand? I think we're going to use Hard Rock Overture. We'll summon this out, and then I think I'm just going to play a bunch of stuff in defense. If we get punished, we get punished. I think this is the play I want to make. Obviously, we get massively punished if our opponent has the curse, but it is what it is. I'll queue once you hit gold rank. Hit just wants to bully me, I swear. Okay. We still don't really know what we're against here. which does make things a little bit awkward for us, but we'll probably be fine. Let's go Pot of Greed. No delay, so we don't have to worry about anything on that front. Then we'll go ahead and flip Shout. We'll use Heavenly Selection. We'll hit this one. I mean, he might just be playing, like, just spellcasters, right? I mean, how much damage do we just have on board? This is like 4,900. If I Tribute 2, summon out a boss, and then just summon, that is just lethal. So I guess we'll go Genie's Fire Breath. We'll hit that one. Tribute 1, Tribute 2, summon this out. No delay. Oh, this is stuck in defense, isn't it? Ooh. Okay, that's fine, because we can just do this, right? We'll use this. We'll send this. We'll see if this duel actually gets to continue or not. Okay, we were in a bit of a sticky situation there because we didn't really plan our play ahead there. I don't think we actually had lethal, but that's fine. That's fine. Oh my god, Rebels. I know, Human, I know you're happy. What was he playing? I assume he was just playing casters? Yeah, he was just playing 7s. 7s with poly based. Alright. Let's see if we can get into a real game this time that isn't just our opponent sets 3 and then loses. I think the one thing that's going to be a bit awkward is cul-de-sac. I've got to really play around cul-de-sac a bit better. Keep making sure we have room and stuff and keeping cards in our hand. Alright, another potential 7s player. We're going second this time with a handful of traps. Unfortunately, with a hand like this, I don't think we're going to have a very proactive turn 2. Which is a bit of a shame. Back row. Defensive monster. Defensive monster. Pass. Okay. Well. As we said, this is not going to be a particularly exciting turn. Now the question is going to be, do we play... I want to get a bit greedy. I think I am going to get a bit greedy. And we are just going to settle 3. I will activate this effect. Because ideally if we can get another level 8 into the graveyard, that would be great for us. But now, we do have to be careful about Charmy, because Charmy gets trap destruction prevention, which can be a bit annoying. Master Axel Road. 7-Dread Witch. What's the wording on this? Yeah, okay. That's good to know. Adds Fusion. Adds Fusion. Sends TSA. That's an interesting send. So we're playing heroes in spellcasters? Okay. So we're just being cute. Goes for the Flame Wingman. Okay. He's got another fusion, so he's probably going to go for a Charmy as well. Oh, we're not going to go for Charmy. Wait, are we going to go for Master? We're not. We're just going to keep this. Okay. I think here we do use Widespread just to make sure we don't take a crap ton of damage here. We will go ahead and use Phantom Thief here as well. We'll keep this hand because these are fine. Okay, so we can spin to... We can go Pot of Greed first things first. Let's see what we end up with. So we can rip his board apart. What are we adding back? We could discard Summon 2. There'd be nothing to add back. Not having Doom here kind of sucks, but I guess it is what it is. Alright, we'll activate this. We'll send this. We'll bring these two back. Activate your effect. We'll go selection. Pop that one. I know what this is, so I don't need to worry about it, right? Because we know it's a second copy of Fusion. If I activate this, it just takes a card away from him, like, which is not the end of the world. Tribute 2 to summon this. Activate the effect. Let's just set this. Alright. Get him for 3,000, and then we'll pass. Alright. Let's see what he's got. We got him down to 3k. Would we even have had lethal if we got Doom? I don't think so. Would have still been a ways off. Would have got him for 1,200 burn, which would have been nice. Activate dealer. Discards the familiar. So are we digging for a skill target? That is the current question. Summons out Sork. Okay. Magical Stream. Is he going to hit the 33? Because he has no information. Okay. Hits the genie. Summons out Strange Witch. This is a weird way to do this when you could have... Unless the Strange Witch was the draw off of that, then I guess that's fine. As is, we're taking a chunk of damage, but we're not dead. So I think we just let this go. That is the absolute worst thing that last card could have been. I was like, we are completely fine. Because he'd have to summon another monster to find lethal. And then he had exactly TSA. I think the only thing that could have made that worse is if he had, like, a hammer shot. So I think we are now just dead, right? We lose 16. We go down to 900. We take 3,000, and then we just die to that. Our only hope is that he fuses. I mean, it's one of those things. We'd already seen a TSA. We're not realistically playing around a second copy of TSA. Like, we're just not doing that. Like, there's still a slim chance he might fuse his monsters together. But I don't think he's going to. Yeah. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Maybe you could argue it was greedy to hold the Shady. Which, I mean, in hindsight it was, but... Again, we were in such a good position if he didn't have exactly TSA or, like, a hammer shot. So, like... I'm not going to play around, like, some random card that you shouldn't even be playing, right? It is what it is. It is what it is. Alright. Let's find another game. Hopefully, we'll play against something that isn't Sevens, because Sevens, let's be honest, is a bit boring and not very good. Like, we would have won that game if we had just used our trap card. We chose not to. It is what it is. Realistically, I don't expect us to lose to Sevens. And Sevens also, theoretically, has an okay matchup into us, because we do have a lot of zero defense monsters. It's Konami! From Korea. Come on. Can we play it something that isn't Yuga? Do we have any non-Yugas on the ladder? Well. Guys, I think this deck might not be very good. I have a feeling. It's the Konami! Exactly, Mikro, exactly. He's about to bully us. I don't know if I like cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac is a weird card. I think a lot of the time, a lot of our issues are actually being caused by cul-de-sac. Like, if this was a level 7 or 8, we would have been fine. This is only a problem because it's cul-de-sac. Please do not snipe the trap card. Okay, he had 2. The chances that he would hit the trap with 2 are actually not too bad, so is fine, right? And his play is Surge, Bicorn, Aggro. Guys, I think we're going to be okay. I have a feeling. What are we doing with this, though? This doesn't do anything. This doesn't do anything. We can summon this in defense mode. Okay, I guess we will activate the skill. We'll send this, and then we'll summon this. We'll special by revealing this. We'll drop a selection on him. So we're just playing, like, machine good stuff, I guess? Then we'll beat up one of these, and then we'll pass. Make a count to see how many 7's Rage encounter? Nah, can't be asked for that. Maybe he get good supports in the next deck build box. Light Machine. It seems to be Light Machine. Hello, Luis Fernando, by the way. Welcome, welcome. At least it's not 7's Road. You're not wrong. But the thing is, I want to play against, ideally, something meta-relevant, right? So whenever we're playing against a bunch of non-meta-relevant decks, it's like... Light Machine Yuga. Unfortunately, unique cul-de-sac for lethal lines. I wish it were a normal low-level monster more than anything sometimes. Yeah, I mean, just summoning him on his own is like a 900 boost to your board, assuming you can get 3 bodies out, right? Getting out 2 is obviously, you know, that's what, 1800 boost to your board. Both of these trap cards are a little bit awkward here as well. Ace Breaker! He's here. The flag mech deck, actually, in, I mean, we're not using that. In the OCG is really fun. Well, we'll take the 17. I think we are going to use this because we need to draw a good hand here. Okay. I guess we want to summon you. No matter what, I have to discard a card. Keeping multiple in hand doesn't really do anything for me. So I think as long as we just have a guy, we should be fine. We can use the skill to add this back to our hand, summon those 2 out, pop those. We get in for 35 at the moment. If we find a cul-de-sac, we have lethal. We just need 1 cul-de-sac. That's not a cul-de-sac. And this summons in defense, doesn't it? Okay. Activate the skill. Bam, bam. I lose a card from hand. I can get a card back to hand. Getting the card back to hand doesn't change anything. There's no way to lethal here, is there? The most damage we can do here, I think, is 35. I don't see any other way. We could get this. I'd have to pop that. Goes up to the... Looks like it's cycle it, which I don't think I can. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there isn't a better line here. But only gets us 1,000. Can't get that one. That one does nothing. So I think we have to go Hard Rock Overture. Send this. We will then summon back. Shouldn't matter too much what we get back. The question now becomes, do we add a card back to our hand? Ready for next turn, just in case. I think I will. It's a little bit awkward. But I think this is the right play to do. We'll go phaser, activate phaser. We'll bring this back. We'll tribute these two. Summon this out. Activate the effect. We set, we go battle, we swing. Okay. I think that was the best we had. Ultimate Bond. Exactly. I mean, this board, like, isn't awful. We have follow-up for next turn. The only downside is, if we only have this as our only level 8, we've already used our skill, so we can't get this back. And this is probably the best way to end the game. But this way, we at least guarantee we can do something next turn. If he goes defensive, we could potentially kill him with Chiron. Oh, well, we'd have to draw out our other Chiron, I suppose. Bro is really taking a long time in this draw phase. He's really thinking about drawing those cards. Secret Order. Okay, he gets the 3200 that protects all of his guys from widespread, which is a little bit annoying. If that's it, though, we should be golden. The chances that we just draw into a back row hate should be very high. Well, that's not a back row hate. Oh, we'll hit one of these first off. Then, what do we want to do? I mean, that's only 1,000. I could summon this out, boost it. That'd be a little bit more. Right, let's do this. We'll send this. I probably should have summoned this one. It doesn't really make a difference, though, I don't think. Let's summon these two out. Then I can summon this out. Oh, he has a delay. Choose one level 7 higher. That's oh, it has to be level 7 or higher. So I'll have to do that one. Okay. But this threatens lethal just by attacking. So he has to do something here. If he flips it down, if he flips down his own monster, we just kill him with Chiron. Okay. I mean, we'll take it, I guess. The later we can use the skill, add the better. The only thing I was worried about was, if we didn't use it there, and we didn't draw a high level, we would have just lost the game, right? That was the thinking. Because, I mean, ideally, you want to have it as like a toolbox option. Oh, I need a Chiron. Okay, I can grab that back to a piercing option. Oh, I need a board wipe. I can grab back the Doom Metal, right? But if, for whatever horrid reason, we just didn't find a boss, we were just going to be dead. Yuga lost. I mean, Yuga's lost twice today, I think, so far. I think we've beaten up 2 Yugas so far. Yami GX. Those ranks do not fill me with confidence that we're going to get a good game here. Yuga Odo. I'm going to guess it is probably going to be 7s again. We're going to get absolutely greedy again and set the Shady. I really shouldn't, because again, widespread, if he just goes Charmy, which is like the most generic thing this deck does, he protects himself from widespread. And nobody Phantom Thief is super awkward in this matchup because he's got piercing. So Shady is like the most important trap, but I just don't care. Okay. This is also not quite what I was expecting. Why is this a thing now? Are we just seeing sevens players just throwing heroes in the deck just cuz? Is this just like... Is this something new that I have not experienced yet? I get we're in Silver Rank, right? I get that. But this is still very strange that we've run into 2 of these. No! I probably didn't even need to use that, really, but if I draw a spell card I want to use. There's a spell card I want to use. Alright. Let's go Pog. What do we want to do here? So, we do not have Chiron access, which kind of sucks, because that would probably allow us to end the game. So with that in mind, none of our bosses actually do anything. I could just Tribute 2, use the effect to boost. Oh, you can't even use his effect to boost, so it would have to just be Cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac boosting 2 would put them 400 shy of lethal. I mean, I guess that's probably just the play anyway. Like, is there a better one? Oh, again, we're in another weird spot where that doesn't quite work out how I need it to. I could add that back to hand. Means leaving one of these, or I could just... Yeah, okay, we'll do this. We'll activate the skill. We'll send this. No, this still doesn't do what I need, because I don't have enough cards in the graveyard. Okay, this is fine. This is whatever. Okay, I'll add this back. Then we summon this. We Tribute 2, summon this. We special summon this. We set this, and then we have a card left in hand for Shady, and we manage to get the strongest possible board. We're also playing Fake Neos. Oh, why can't we attack with Hard Rock? What did I do? Is it part of the skill? Directly once. Okay. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. We forgot about that bit. I've been thinking of replacing my 1 heavy metal for the 3rd Pierce Knight. It's a weird one. I think heavy metal is genuinely really, really good. I actually think maybe Hard Rock is the card that could go. Like, it's got 2000 defense, which is nice. I don't know how often his effect is going to be super helpful, especially with, like, the new change. It's a weird one. Using Phantom Thief would have been better there. Your opponent having a face-up guy is relevant and widespread. Would have been more useful later if it came down to it. I mean, potentially, but with the power of hindsight, we know it didn't really matter. I mean, maybe it did. Because I could have gone... Apparently it just doesn't matter anyway. The logic was that if we found Chiron, we could just kill him. But I guess if we're not likely to find Chiron, it's not really the play to go with. The other thing is, I'd never like leaving my Legend Trap on the board, just because there's a high chance the longer it's there, the higher chance it just gets popped. And there's nothing worse than just losing your Legend Trap and getting no value from it whatsoever. This isn't fun from the United Kingdom. Who would have thought someone from the UK would be complaining? Shocker. Alright, we're playing an Archive skill. So, Hero is probably the most likely. Ah, okay, we're against the Red Eyes. And he gets it on the 4th reveal. Feels bad. Alright, how gross is this going to be? You would have killed them immediately with Heavy Metal, basically, lol. So it'd be what? I'd go up to 49... No, you're right. He would have just been dead with heavy metal. And we had heavy metal in rotation as well. So, like, there was no reason to think we weren't going to get it. Well. One thing I'm noticing is this deck doesn't really do a lot on turn 2. I have to kill this, right? If I leave it, he just gets, like, extra pluses. We'll summon out Shout. No delay. We'll drop Selection and pop a back row. That is a pretty good hit, but obviously it depends what he's got. I mean, milling a card is good. Then I think we just attack into this. I never like when you're in a situation like this where you can't, like, push. It always feels really awkward. Because now I feel like I'm in a good position to just kind of die. And I wanted to deny him more resources. He's effectively going into this turn with 3 cards on the board, 5 cards in hand, so that's 8. And he uses the skill to get an extra +1, so he's got 9 cards to play with. With a deck as strong as that, he should be able to just kill me with 9 cards. Right, is he going to pop the back row? The one benefit is we do have 3 monsters, which means he kind of, if he wants to try... Okay, he has the Inferno anyway. Well, things are looking kind of dire. And that gives him... I mean, he could swap the 2 cards in his hand, but that doesn't actually solve his issues, right? So now he uses Medic, puts a card back. Oh, is the last card another copy of the fusion spell? Are you kidding? I mean, that's still not lethal though, right? Because he pops the defensive, and then we're on 200 life. Why are newer rush skills not showing you what card that they give with their skills? I mean, I couldn't tell you that hit. That is above my pay grade, I'm afraid. Okay, I mean, there is a chance we could win this. Just it's not looking great. That is also an abysmal hand. Let's hope Pog sorts us out. Ah. I mean, we're just dead, right? Straight up. We can get this out, use the effect. I would burn for 1,000, gain 35. Attack over. We hit him for a grand total of 3,500 damage, clear one of these guys, and then we die on the crackback. So all we can do is go defensive and hope he can't do anything. Which is basically... I mean, all of these 3 are in the graveyard, and one of these is in the graveyard. So he needs... I don't think he's searched Flare Fusion yet, which means if he just has any skill target, we are just dead. I mean, we have to do what we have to do, but we are so fucked here. No, we don't need that one. Sure, we'll activate that. Why not? We need as many cards out of our hand as possible, so... Put all cards in defense, you don't have lethal. Luis Fernando, there was no possible way that we had anywhere near lethal there. It's not like, oh, we were close to lethal, we just need a little bit more. It's like, no, we were nowhere near lethal. And there's the medic. So now, if he just has a skill target, it's just game. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Things are looking promising. Hold. Alright, what do we need here? We need Doom. Doom is what? 2,100 damage plus 25. Where is Doom? Where are you, Doom? So now the question is, do we make room to play trap cards? I think we kind of have to. Well, we can't even activate anything until we play something face up, which we could do quite easily. All right, we will use the skill. I don't think you're going to be super relevant, so we're going to send you. We'll go 1, 2. There's no reason to add here because we're not going to find lethal. We will probably take a card away from his draw. I think the play is set slime. I think that's the best we can do. I don't really want to activate any of my other back row because I think getting rid of 2 of his back row is going to be really important to try and close out the game if we get to that stage. So we just had to pass, I think. Legitimately was 500 damage off. How was it 500 damage off? We could summon that, boost that up. Oh, it'd be an extra 5. That'd be 45? I don't see where we get the extra 1,000 from. So we parry and boost the attack up, boost our guy up. But even if we do that, then we don't get to keep the boost. No, I don't see it. Underestimating hard rock damage a lot, especially with Perian. You missed lethal. How did we miss lethal? Oh, maybe we did actually. With the 1800 on the board. You can hit a guy you didn't boost with hard rock. Yeah, but the point is you do less burn damage if you do that way, right? That was the logic we were following. Where is heavy metal at, bro? What the frick is going on here? Well, we'll just keep bringing these back, I guess. I think we just pass. You target something with Perian. Use Hard Rock to target it for max value, then attack over something else. I get what you're saying. But my point is, if I use Perian to boost my guy, right? So if I boost Hard Rock, for example, and I boost his guy, I'm gaining more attack, but I'm also burning for less. So doesn't it end up being equal? Well, I guess we're burning for the same amount, because we're boosting both by the same. I think it's just the maths is being weird in my head. We'll set this, and we'll pass. Rebel or 2 Big Brain. Well, it's just we haven't played the deck in literal months, right? I literally haven't played this deck since it came out. Will be 4,700 damage. Well, according to Volt, it would actually be 5,500 damage. I mean, at this point, we're just waiting for Doom Metal, right? But he's just not showing up. I can't believe we haven't drawn any of him. Guessing Royal was fun. I mean, they would be fun if they would work. Alright, we'll activate this effect. I don't think it really matters too much. We'll do you and you. We'll go Heavenly Selection, pop this. We'll go Genie's Fire Breath, we'll get rid of this. Oh, we probably should have done the other one first, but oh well. We'll activate this. No, I needed to add. I needed to add. I'm a dumbass. Well, we've thrown. We have officially thrown the game. Oh, it's all because of bloody cul-de-sac. I hate this card! I hate this card! Okay, adds back Meteor Drake. Yeah, we'll just go next. Ah! Bloody cul-de-sacs effect, man. I hate cul-de-sac. I hate cul-de-sac so much. It's like the Hard Rock and then parrying itself so that Hard Rock could do more damage. It's the second time you do this. I mean, it's just one of those things, right? I'm not used to playing it. Back when people were playing this deck originally, people just didn't play cul-de-sac because cul-de-sac wasn't very good. So I'm just not used to keeping a card in hand for it. It's right. We know that there were like 2 different ways we could have won there, right? There were like 2 different ways that we could have won. We just clicking like a dum-dum. Skill issue. Actually, literal skill issue. Literal skill issue. But again, it's one of those. We're still like de-rusting, right? We're still remembering how the deck works. So I'm not particularly worried about it. Although I get hands like this, and I'm like, ugh, this is kind of yikes. So once again, I guess we should expect hero. But, I mean, who even knows, man? This could also be, again, red eyes. Well. Not exactly the sexiest turn, if we're being completely honest, but... Let's see what Yell's got for us. Okay, it is just red eyes again. Dragon's Inferno. Please do not snipe my only trap card. Okay, thank you. The amount of times recently that I've set 3 back row and the opponent has sniped the only purple card, and I'm like, please, sir, please. Summon out Drake. Okay. Drake immediately adding the fusion. 2 fusion as well. Let's see what bro's got. Has the Flare Fusion. Uses the skill. Reveals the Moon Dragon. So I'm guessing we're going to just be adding the Meteor Dragon. Adds the Meteor Dragon. Tributes to the Meteor Dragon. Are we going to go Swarm? The only reason to go Swarm is if we have another Flare Fusion access. Okay, we're not going to go for Swarm. We go for the Meteor Black Dragon. He pops the Genie's Fire Breath, so we've actually gotten kind of lucky to keep our trap card. But again, the trap card doesn't actually do anything here. He's got 2 cards left in hand. What else are you going to do here? Straight to battle. Okay, I mean, that's fine. Okay, so we can threaten his back row. We can summon. We could pop 2. If we go... So I could bring that back if I wanted to. I'd go parry and boost this up to 4,000. Absorb its attack, which is 4,000. Burn for 1,000. We go up to 65. 65 over 18 is what, 47? 57? I think we're like 300 off lethal. Can you try something? Yeah, if you want to puppet me a human, go for it. If you tell me the plays, we'll do your line if you want. There is a clock going on though, just to let you know. Summon only parrying with the skill and add back card rock. Okay. So we'll send this. Summon only Perian. Add back Hard Rock. Can you buff the level 6? What, now? Can you debuff the level 6? Can we debuff the level 6? Do you mean buff the level 6 with this? Summon both. Again, we're doing what a human wants us to do. We're following a human. He's spending a very long time to type. And we've lost a lot of time. Can you debuff the level 6 with back row removal? I don't know what you mean by that, a human. That doesn't logically make any sense. We spent almost an entire minute and we've made no progress. Parry and target itself, use Heavenly Selection. Okay. I mean, what he's saying doesn't make sense about that, but... Okay, so you want me to do that. Then do that. Oh, you want me to debuff that one? With that. Ah, I see. I mean, either way, I don't think this is working out how you wanted it to. Could have lethal through Hard Rock, double Perian for 1k. Yeah, but again, we're doing a human's play. So, like, I haven't done anything wrong. We've just been following a human. I mean, at this point, I think we're just going to do this. Because a human is taking 100 years to make any kind of decision. Alright. I mean, you don't have to apologize, human. I mean, losing this game doesn't mean anything, right? We're playing in, like, silver rank on ladder. It's completely irrelevant. We're not on, like, rank up and we have to get 5 in a row. You have nothing to apologize for whatsoever. The one thing I didn't want to happen, though, was that we lose because of timeout. That was the one thing I didn't want to happen. Right, so now the downside is, we have already used our skill to add back. So what we have is what we have now. Activate Meteor Flare Fusion. Sends 2. It's going to summon out another MBD. He knows this is a trap. Okay, hits the one that he didn't know was anything. Buff the fusion, then debuff the little monster selection, then hard rock for lethal. But we were one level, low level short. Ah, I see, I see. Another back row. Pesky. Okay. I mean, this is fine. We just take this. Alright. What do we do with this? We can send, summon 2, summon that, and summon that. Use that. We don't have a way to get rid of his back rows. With back rows anything, we just kind of get screwed either way. There's not really a lot we can do about that. We can gain his attack and attack over that. I think that's just the way. I don't think there's much thinking required here. I don't think we need to particularly mill anything. No, we can't do that one. We go 1, we go 2. I guess we summon this first. No delay there. Boost this and this. Tribute 1, Tribute 2, summon this out. Activate the effect. No! Well. We're not dead yet, so we have that. We can still win, surely. I needed to use Doom Metal as tribute fodder. That was salvageable because we randomly milled Chiron, but the opponent buff needed to go onto MBD. Yeah, but no one... Again, if no one's telling me, if no one's giving me the information... Like, I can't... I mean, yeah, we're just dead on board, so we'll just get out of here. Like, you got to remember, if I'm in a situation where I'm listening to exactly what chat is telling me, then it's up to chat at that point, right? Because, like, if people aren't giving concise instructions and they want me to do stuff, like, you can't put that on me, right? Like, that's a collaborative effort, and you guys messed up. Like, that's not on me. Alright, let's go again. Hopefully we'll actually find a red eyes and we'll actually get to play a proper game against them, rather than one game where we misclicked. Well, misclicked. We didn't think the play through enough. Too many cooks in the kitchen, none working on the same combo. Yeah, that's basically how it's working out. You got to remember as well, one, you guys are all competing with each other. And two, you're expecting me, who has barely played this deck, to fully understand everything that is being said with very little context. What the hell are you doing here, Skull Servant? Why? I feel like, as well, every game we seem to open like the worst possible hands. Why we play that level 4? This one. Because it can get rid of shady targets from your opponent's hand. Ah, sparks. Remind me of Pokemon Twitch when too many people press up and then one person presses left. I mean, basically, right? Like, the only reason we made any of those plays last time was because Human wanted us to try something, right? Well. Wah. Wah. Behold, the strength of Royal Rebels. Literal NPC deck. I mean, quite literally. Skull Servant plus Spark. This guy is 3 years ahead of Duel Links. The Skull Servant stuff as well. I'm not a huge fan of the Skull Servant stuff in Rush. Red Medicine. Is he going to attack into our 2100 guys? You're not a fan of 5k Skull 7? I just think the deck isn't very interesting. It just doesn't really do anything. It's like Skull 7 in TCG as well. They kind of do the same thing, which is just you like super pump King of Skull Servants, which is like, it's a bit one-dimensional. Alright, let's see if we can find a real game. Just thought of something. What did you think of King John? Alright. Another opponent. Let's see what they got. Asana. Okay. Is it an archive skill? It is an archive skill, so this could be anything. Why don't you ever do a redeem to watch Rush replays? Because we just, if people want us to watch replays, we just watch replays. We're not too bothered about having people spend channel points for it. I always feel like turn 2 of this deck always feels like ass. Is this COG game? No, this is not COG at all. We're nowhere near COG. I don't know, man. Let's summon Shout in attack mode. Screw it, right? Why not? I'm gonna use Genie's Fire Breath. I'm gonna put some of these cards back in his hand. Like, imagine he's just bricked on this, and now he only gets one draw. Giant Trunade at home? Real. A replay for after this. Okay, we can watch a replay after this. Rebels definitely needs a turn 1 setup to do anything. Was that his draw for turn? He just drew Meteor Drake? I mean, we have one trap card, which is really good if he doesn't have nails. Summon it. Wait. What? So he had Meteor Drake turn 1. He just chose not to summon it? He hasn't used the skill yet. He had at least one Meteor Drake in the hand. He just chose not to summon it. Which is so weird to me. Okay. There's nothing crazy we could do here. I could just rip his attack, slam. That's not awful. Oh wait, I can't, because we only have one. I didn't think this through. Okay, so now the question is, do we just summon both of these? I don't really want to. I think we just summon this. Then I'll special summon this by revealing this. All set. And then I'm just going to tribute with this. Not exactly the sexiest turn ever, but it sort of gets the job done. Alright. Does he have the widespread? Okay, he does have the widespread. I think we are going to crash here. I don't want to give him the extra +1. Can't we search one? We can't search Georgia. We can grab one back from the graveyard. That's all we can do. He got greedy and no punish. Apparently. But like, what was the greed? What was the greed in not summoning it? Damn, this deck is so slow. Yeah, it's a very, very slow deck. Please do not hit my trap card. You, that one's fine, I guess. I'd much rather have the other one. Please do not play Dragon Nails. On the plus side, his Legend Trap's gone. So if he doesn't play Dragon Nails, we're not in an awful spot here. Activates Medic. Hey, Valley. Welcome, welcome. Azbek Flare Fusion. Well, you can't do anything with Flare Fusion and only one other card in your hand. Damn it! Oh, we died of this! Oh, he had Secret Order anyway. It didn't matter. To be fair, that game, there's nothing I could have done. That's not on me. That's not on me. Probably scared of heavy metal popping his Drake. Yeah, but even that seems like especially when he's sat behind a bunch of back row. Because, I mean, I could just kill him from 6,000. Like, that's not... And that, again, that's assuming he even has, like, knowledge of the matchup, which he probably doesn't. Fishing deck, you send the bait and wait for the opponents to bite. It's middle blue. Most of the times, I don't have low levels to summon multiple bosses. Yeah, but the cul-de-sac kind of circumvents that, though, right? That's the big difference. This little bagger. Alright. We found another Yuga. Let's see what Yuga's got for us. Keeps 2 in hand. There's Hard Rock. Well, this hand doesn't do anything super crazy, so I guess we're just going to go ahead and do this. We'll probably bin this. We're definitely bringing back this. We're probably bringing out this. We'll special by revealing this. Okay. Let's see if he's going to do anything here. So now the question becomes, do I just summon this out knowing that we're going to get shadied? Because it has to be shady. There's nothing else it can be. I think maybe we just go combat. And just keep this as like a board. Maybe even hitting there was the wrong thing to do. Because now we can use the skill, get rid of this, summon out cat. Use the skill... Yeah, you can use the skill to send witch to graveyard. Summon out the strange cat. Or strange witch, whatever it's called. Adds witch. If he sends witch... Oh no, because he can't send witch and send that. That's just me being a dumbass. I'm like, oh, you can just do everything. No, that's not how the skill works. Exactly what Jorfio said. Exactly. Sometimes just going to lose to one Shady or Ruin. Well, that's why this version of the deck is playing 6 back row hate, right? Well, there goes his back row hate. Okay. On the plus side, because of the way our board is set up, there's no, like, super Giga Punish, right? If he gets out of Charmy, it's annoying. But, like, you could change that to defense, and you can only pierce over 1. Or you change that to attack, and you still only just pierce over the 1. So, like, this is probably the best he can come up with, which is just a big smack over the cul-de-sac. Which isn't the end of the world. He sent Avian to graveyard. Well, a lot of the time, a lot of the Sevens players been playing against have been playing heroes. Like, it's not anything super crazy. What? Why didn't... What? Why didn't he use Paladin's effect? Still no back row hate. That is annoying. We're playing 6 back row hate. We have found none of it. That makes me a very sad boy. I think we just go defensive, maybe. Right, we'll use this. We'll send this. We'll bring these 2 back. I'm just going to set these. I'm just going to pass. I don't think we need to do anything crazy right now. We're basically just waiting for back row hate. WTF was that turn? What's wrong? So we know he's got Shady currently. Right? That is what we're playing around. Activate Phantom Thief for the draws. Yeah, we will be doing that. We could summon Doom Metal and then summon another one if he's Shady. But in order to get the effect off Doom Metal, we have to tribute 2 level 7 or higher, right? So if we tribute the 2 level 7 or higher, summon it out. I suppose, yeah, we would have had a spare one. I mean, we could have done that. We then couldn't, though, have summoned cul-de-sac. Because we wouldn't have had a card in hand to use it. Well, unless we used the skill, then we could have done that. That would have been what? 8 plus 9... 17. Then we would have hit him... I think that was actually lethal. I think that was lethal. Okay, so now he has another back row for us to worry about. So that's going to pierce us. Either way, we can't stop that. We'll go ahead and do this now and see what we've got. Okay, so we have these 2 now, which is perfect. We probably just don't need this. What is the correct way to do this? We're going to lose... We don't have to lose that. We could just let him kill that. That's what, 2,000 damage? Use both of these to pop these. Summon... Don't discard. You have to discard 1 card. You have to discard 1 card. I think we have to discard this. You have to discard one card. Yeah, minimum have to discard one. Alright. We'll do this. We'll send this. We'll bring back this and this, I guess. We will add a card back to hand. Let's grab that. We will then activate Genies. Get rid of that. Activate Heavenly Selection. Get rid of that. We will Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon this. Activate your effect. Do you and you. Activate your effect. Summon this. 33, 18. Okay. This card is ass. Restoration much better. I mean, kind of. It depends on the situation, right? I will save that replay. There was a bit of a misplay there, but it's fine. It's whatever, right? Phantom Thief is ass. I disagree. I disagree. Okay, King John wants us to watch his replay. We'll go ahead and do that. We have to make room on our friends list probably, though. Who gets to go? Who hasn't been logged in a long time? Rest in peace, Sam. Out you get. Send request. It's only good against Red Eyes? I mean, kind of. Like, it's good against Royal Rebels. There's a lot of matchups it is really good against. The level up doesn't work for Doom Metal Burn. Ah, that's interesting. Can I redeem a replay? Yeah, you can. We can watch one of your replays if you want. Do we have Shui on our friends list already? I know I have some of your accounts. Don't know if I have... Oh, yeah, we have this one. Which one, Shreem, while we wait for the accept? Then about Rebels, it's good specifically against Doom Metal, but there's also the Burn guy. So it's not good against Hard Rock, but it is good against Doom Metal, and it's good against Heavy Metal. Also, we haven't done an exclamation mark Shui. We should probably do that as well. Fourth one. Right, we'll watch this, then we'll watch King John's, and then we'll probably play one more ladder game. Rebels can boost their level. So they can, but only with Perion, right? So it depends on the situation. I think there will be a lot of situations where it is really, really good, but there will be some when it's just not, right? Combi did just now was playing around Thief. The main difference is Thief can fix your hand. Like, that's the one thing it does that's, like, really nice. The one versus Scyther. Okay, we'll check that in a minute. Alright, we've got Valance. We're going to throw our opponent a field spell. We're going to grab Empress to hand. We're going to send Reaper to the graveyard. We're going to summon out the Regulus himself. We're going to add Therian Stand Up to our hand. Use the field spell to summon out our... Is this Empress? No, it's Lily. We're going to go into Drag Luxion, everyone's favourite card. Veiler is going to get hit. Regulus is going to negate the Veiler by sending itself to the graveyard. We're going to go ahead and add Tachyon Primal. Drag Luxion effect. Or we're going to just overlay straight into Hope Harbinger. Primal's effect's going to summon it. We're going to add Transmigration. We're going to set 3 back row. We're going to pass. Different dimension ground. We're going to be floodgated. Now it's time to see what Shui can do. We're going to activate the skills, send Dynatag, add back Denier and Faris. Adds the D-Force to the hand from outside of the deck. And we're going to create that Doom Lord because we are going second. Hope Harbinger is going to be used. Then we're going to use Forbidden Droplet, which is going to get negated by Tachyon Transmigration because we did not discard a trap. Fusion Destiny, we're going to be met with Stand Up. We're going to bring back Regulus and a card attached to it. Phoenix Enforcer comes down. Regulus effect. Phoenix Enforcer in response. Regulus in response to that. summon out the Pharos, summon out Denier, activate Denier effect, put Dreamer, activate D-Force, which is going to let us grab our Plasma, summon out Plasma, negates all of our opponent's effects, and lets us do a big suck. And our opponent now, without using monster effects, has to try and break this board. Irregular's effect is negated, and he can't do anything because Floodgate, too strong. That was a game of Floodgates. That was just a game of Floodgates. Alright. King John wants his game versus Scyther, so this one. I think there are too many decks where Thief is ass. I mean, that's fair. The one good application is not good enough. Well, it's one of those things as well where you can, like, draw a brand new hand, right? And sometimes that in itself can be enough of a reason to run it. Sometimes it's going to be completely useless, like, absolutely, absolutely. But I don't think it's a card which has, like, no merit at all. I think it's just a card that's a bit niche. Okay. So we send the Darkhold device. We're going to go ahead and fuse into Protostar. Activate Corridor. That's going to take back Hoplites. Activate another Corridor. Grab back Prophet. Okay. Protostar's going to get back Globule. So now if we want to, we can go into another Protostar. Ah, okay. This is a really weird way to get to this. Couldn't we have just... I guess it depends, right? Because we have Dark Hole in the graveyard. What we could have done is sent the Chrysaor to the graveyard when we added back the Prophet. Or we didn't even need to add back Prophet. We could have added back anything. Then just use Protostar, bring back Chrysaor, bring back Prophet to hand. Summon, use the effect, get back Fusion, then combine these two in. This way gets the hand empty, which I guess, depending on what was in the hand, could be better. The Agonia effects, bring back Chrysaor. This is the bread and butter combo of the deck. We didn't activate Chrysaor for some reason. We will then attack with Linek. Fusion draw. We're going to discard the draw. Void Corridor. We're going to go ahead and take back the Prophet again. Activate Chrysaor's effect. We're going to summon out Prophet. Shuffle 3 back. Add the Fusion. We can go Theogonia. And then we can go to Chrysaor again if we want to. Now we're going to go for Elysium. Okay. Didn't we, like, have lethal there? My first time doing this in a while. I mean, that's absolutely fair. Don't mistake my my nitpicking for, like, actual criticism. It's more like, was there a better way to do this, right? Kind of like group learning. Elysium, what? Again, Luis Fernandez, he did just say this isn't like a super competitive match. This is just like two mates having fun. Well, we immediately have another option here to go for Protostar. Ooh, we're going to go for Requiem. We have ended with Prophet in attack position. Not obviously the tastiest thing. There is Gear Golem. And Meteor Charge. And there is Lethal. I'm curious as to what the deck this was that was playing like Galaxy, but had the Ancient Gear Golem in it. Sorry, last that was pretty perfect. He summoned Oblivion, then I summoned Requiem right after. Yeah, like roleplay wise, it was a really good one. Obviously not the most competitive game, but you know, let's be honest, a lot of my games on stream today haven't been the most competitive games, so sorry, Lol, this is my fave archetype. I wish I had this Rush card. Well, Ancient Gear is an entire archetype in Rush that has a bunch of Rush unique cards for it. And it's a really, really fun deck. It's very, very easy to play as well. It's just like, the whole archetype is basically, get your guys out for less tributes. Can I send a replay? Yeah, you can send a replay. Ah, it's hit! He sniped us. He beat me without the use of Fusion. He sent his only copy of Fusion to the graveyard. Well, obviously, he wasn't playing the good skill, because he was playing Ancient Gear Golem, and you can't play non-galaxies with the good skills. I only have Ancient Gear and Speed. Well, it'll come to Rush eventually.
Bit of Pure Galactica Oblivion. Just like the duel from the anime. Just Oblivion and Requiem. Okay, so Hit is probably playing his favorite deck, which is Baseball. What are we doing with this? I feel like if I just... if I just throw guys out, I think I get punished and die. I think I have to do something along these lines. Because like, I could summon this out, but like it doesn't get me anything. Maybe we do this. Don't we just pierce? So I could go into this and just pierce over. But it would just be this. And then if he just goes activate skill, summon, tribute both, Groundra, or Ground Slam Dragon as it's called now, bring back the 2500, and then just normal summon, I just die. I think having 2 bodies on the board is more valuable. Right. We've already got the home run hitter in the graveyard, so now he's going to tribute these 2, summon out the Grand Slam. This deck has pressure. So Hit doesn't play the pressure version, so we don't have to worry about that. Drawing 4 high levels is kind of ass. Yeah, it's not the best. It's the issue this deck's always had. Even when we played the old version of it, you would always get to the issue of if you draw 5 high levels, your hand is terrible. If you draw 5 non-high levels, your hand is terrible. You're like, I just need this like lovely mix of the two. Right, if he has just like another normal summon, then we would just cook if we did go for the Perian. Okay, so I don't know what this is. What could this be? Now, obviously, he's playing defense because he knows we're playing this deck and he knows that we can punish. But he's got 3 back row, which we're not very easily going to be able to chew through. I think either way we have to do this. I think we do just bring back... I mean, these 2 are probably fine. We'll go ahead and selection. Then... you can get piercing. I mean, we haven't felt a delay yet. I guess we'll summon and see if there's anything there. No delay on that. So we're probably fine then. Actually, we'll use the effect first. What's in our graveyard? We have a 2000 Defender, right? So we'll bring this out. In retrospect, I should have saved the piercing for this. But it's fine. I think we're going to get a battle. If he's got a battle trap, he didn't have a battle trap. Okay. Oh, it was Phoenix Dragon. That makes sense as a low level. I was like, what low levels does this deck play that don't have like any attack? Just draw 5 spells and traps. Wait, that's not helpful either. Couldn't you make it pierce level 7? Yeah, that was the misplay. The issue that I had was that I was trying to play around Shady if he had it. So I was trying to do the other play first, but then I lost track of the fact that I could have just not used Chiron's effect, right? Because the logic was, if I have another target in the graveyard, maybe there's something better I could bring back. I mean, the only one really would have been the Perian, but realistically, just using Chiron to get the piercing would have been a lot better. It's the extra 2000 damage. Okay, sends Home Run Smasher to the grave. Summons out Saiyanin. So Saiyanin will get back the Grand Slam. Pretty well for the first time. Rush dueling in Duel Links in a while. Oh, yeah. I mean, you've seen how many mistakes I've made today. I play this game a lot, right? Oh, please don't hit the good one. No, alright, so now we get to... We'll just pretend that hit is stream sniping. That's the only reason he hit that. So now, if we lose, it's because he was stream sniping, guys. We got to get our excuses ready. On the plus side, I don't think we can die here. Stream sniping. Exactly, see? It has nothing to do with the fact this wasn't set on the field when he attacked last time and he knew there was no delay with this one, okay? Has nothing to do with that. Okay. Boops that one. Then just passes. Oh, what do we want to do? We can discard, add back, go for that. Nothing really happens, though. We could burn for 8 and then just go for the attack with that. I guess that's fine. Let's go for it. Right, we'll go hard rock. We'll discard this. Bring back you and you. We'll add back this. We'll go heavenly. We'll go genies. Tribute 2 to summon. Activate the effect. Activate your effect to give you piercing. Summon this out. Set. Go to battle. So if we had done the piercing attack before, that would have been lethal. Can't we just make the boost guy and make it pierce? Could we have done the boost guy and made it pierce? We absolutely could have. I didn't even think of that. We had him in the graveyard. So we would have burned for 0 and then gone up to 5,000. 5,300? Yeah, that would have just been lethal. I keep forgetting that he even gains that attack and goes really big. It's because the issue is, Hard Rock has always been, like, the really, really bad card. So, because of that, I don't think of it. That would be heavy metal. Yeah, but Hard Rock also gets really big. But they both get really big. I will not tolerate Hard Rock slander. Hard Rock has been seeing 0 play in OCG. It only sees play in Duel Links. Because the effect is just so ass most of the time, and getting it out isn't worth it. Okay, Grand Slam. Oh, this can this only bring back... Yeah, home run hitter. Okay, that's fine then. I mean, I'm pretty sure we just cannot die here. Now you're dead. How are we dead, though? We're on 56. We have 3 high attack monsters on the board. Cards are terrible. The skill is crazy. Yeah, without the skill, this deck would be useless. It would be utterly terrible. He didn't play Batter? Which one's Batter? You talking about Home Run Smasher? Because Smasher was already in the bin. We couldn't just summon it again magically. Time to Pog. How do we want to play this? We could summon, see if there's a delay. I think that's probably the best thing we can do. So we'll summon this out. There is a delay. So that's going to get the Shady off him. Flips both of his own guys down. Okay. So they both have 2,000 defense. Which means clearing both of them is not going to be possible with this hand specifically, which is annoying. What was the next part of the plan then? Use the skill. Means I don't get to use that. I mean, do we just go all defensive? I mean, we'd have to leave this in attack position, is the issue. We could reborn the Pierce guy. Yeah, but that still is only 500. Oh. I would have to summon. No, we can't do that. It doesn't work because we have to discard this in order to reborn him. And then we wouldn't have a 2,500 attack guy to attack. Oh, I could use this. I could tribute these two, summon that, use that, bring that back, but then that's still only 500 damage because both of his guys have 2,000 defense. Don't you still have the add back? No, we've already used the add back. Means... I think this is what we do. It's a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. Phoenix Dragon. Okay. Yeah, that's the hope. But we'll see. I mean, we have to... Well, we don't have to do this, but we're going to do this. Yeah, go on then. We'll do these. Now we'll do Curse again. Now this is a hand. I mean, if he has a custom hand, he could potentially kill us. But if he doesn't have custom, I think we just win here. Now it comes down to, like, what is his back row, right? How much back row hate do we have left? We've used 1, 2, 3, 4. We still have 2 back row hate left in the deck. Don't need that. We don't need... I mean, yeah, we just keep this, right? So we're going to draw up to 6. Okay, okay. So first things first, we'll go Genies. We'll hit this. Then... I mean, if we just burn that, we just win, right? So we just go for this. You're never the card we're playing, let's be honest. So it's going to be you and you, probably. I probably shouldn't be milling all these cards, but we're playing a bit fast and loose now. There's a delay. As the Shady. He's probably going to flip his own guy down. Oh, we can't mill. We can't mill for this. That's actually going to cost us, aren't we? We lost because of your greed? No, we lost because of your greed, a human! It was you! Yeah, I forgot that he needs a mill for his... I mean, to be fair, I wasn't even looking at the number of cards in our deck. It's fine. I mean, we know we would have won if we didn't misplay, right? So it's fine. We'll show off what we had, just to be like, yeah, this was our win, but you've got it because we basically misclicked. Okay. Alright. Well, at least we know that we won the game, right? Like, all we had to do was not click a button and we win. There's nothing he could have done to stop us, so it's fine. It's fine. We know that we won the game. Even if, like, we didn't technically win, we had lethal. We were fine. We did win that. We'll play one more, because that one was a bit anticlimactic. Ending on a misclick feels bad. Alright. This will be the last one for the day. We have already gone a little bit over. Let's see what we get. The third set is a small guy or one boss. So we know that the one on the far right wasn't a boss. GG hit. GG's. I mean, it's one of those games where like we did win, right? Like, it feels really weird to say that, but like, we had lethal. I just misclicked one time. We milled one extra card than we should have. We would have won that game. Which, it sucks that that's the way that the game ends, but it is what it is, right? Let's just play a bit fast and loose. We'll reveal this. We'll summon this out. Activate the effect. We'll send this, and we're going to summon both of these, I think. Activate the effect to boost that. I think we're just going to set these. Go to battle, and we'll see what happens. You would have won if you hadn't milled. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've lost, like, 3 games today because of, like, silly things, like not adding back a card when we were supposed to, and, like, milling one time when we weren't supposed to. Like, it's fine. Like, what the important thing is that I know that we would have won. So that means, like, the deck isn't awful, right? That's the important thing. Oh, is this actually heroes? Is it actually heroes? Fusion comes down. Greed took hold of my... The thing is, you keep saying greed, but like there was no greed in it. It was literally we weren't keeping track of the number of cards in our deck. Like, if anything, it's just like straight up absent-mindedness. Like, greed implies I did it knowingly, right? Alright, Hero Rush Rising. Sends the Clayboy. I'm a bit confused. I'm playing against heroes, but they haven't activated 3 copies of Circulation. I assume that means you're going to summon a Sparkman? Hero Descent. He's added the Fusion back. So you're going to pop the other back row and then go like Sparkman, and that's the board? Or... okay, so we're gonna... This makes more sense. So the board is... This is like the pretty much standard hero board. The issue is, he's gonna do this and he still has 5 cards left over. Like, doing this is like pretty normal, but usually you don't get to keep an entire hand of cards after doing this. Can we still watch the replay? Yeah, we can still watch the replay after this. That's fine. He did... I'm just... Right, let's just... Bro had the goddess of god hands there, bro. I'm done with that. We're so done with that. Alright. We'll watch a human's replay. I assume we don't have a human as a friend already. Which means we need to get rid of someone again. Who are we getting rid of? That's the question. You were not dead yet? No, we weren't dead there on board, but I was just done with the game. Because he had done all of that, and he still had 5 cards in hand, and he was still about to go through his deck. Deadass winnable. Again, it wasn't... Guys, I think you're... Yeah, there's a misconception. We didn't quit out because we had lost the game. That was not the reason that we left the game. I don't know why everyone's got like a stick up their butt about this. It wasn't, oh, we saw lethal, we're quitting out. It was, I'm done. Alright, we just need a human to accept, then we'll watch humans replay. Let's see if it's been accepted already. Versus 7 should be the last replay. Okay, we'll check this out. I assume it's Karen then? Hey, Julius Caesar. Welcome, welcome. Alright, let's take a look. Against the old 7s. I'm guessing this is just going to be a boost attack really high, attack in kill, right? Alright, Hard Rock Overture turn 1. Go ahead and summon out 2 Star Knights. Already getting 3 monsters out on turn 1 is already impressive for this deck. I usually struggle to even do just that. Uses the skill, sends the cat. So he doesn't have like the best opening, but this is probably the second best opening you can get. Activates Hard Poly from hand. That's weird. Okay. Tribute 2 for 7's Road Magician. So we've just done this very, like, inefficiently. So it's a very weird series of plays. Use the skill, grab 2 back, Heavenly Selection. So we could have used the Perian first and then got a reduction on the Heavenly Selection, right? If we wanted to. Hard Rock, we burn, we boost attack, and we slam in for game. That was actually a really good creative use of that. We boost the attack, we take the attack, and then it's like, okay, we'll attack over the weaker one. But in actual fact, we just use that to break the way and then attack directly for 68. That's actually really good. Now, yeah, I was just saying it's funny that it's still fairly likely to win when Hero does that because they played the matchup wrong. I mean, that's fair. I do wonder what the Hero matchup into this looks like. Because it's not a matchup I've played, right? Like, no one's been playing this deck, so... Obviously, they can, like, AoE Wrath your board. You don't want to have, like, low attack monsters on the field. I wonder if that's just a matchup that isn't very hero-favored in general, to be honest. But that is going to be the end of today's stream. We had a lot of fun. Realistically, I think I need to play this deck a lot more to really see all the lines. It doesn't help as well that whenever you're streaming, you're not fully paying attention. And if you're not fully paying attention when you kind of need to be locked in, it can obviously lead to a lot of misplays. Obviously, we did misplay a lot on stream. There's nothing new there. We misplay on stream all the time. But I think the deck definitely feels stronger than it was. But I think that's an obvious thing, right? It just got buffed, right? So it'll be interesting to see how it performs in future. I am probably going to try and find some time and play this deck a bit off stream where I can actually focus on it and see about that. Because I don't want to just like I don't think that was a good enough play session to formulate like a strong opinion on how strong the deck is. So I don't want to like make a video after just that. So I think I will play it off stream a bit and try and get a bit more of a feel for it, right? I guess the way you play is just set something alongside your board. I mean, I think you just kind of have to, right? But it's a weird one. If you just summon one big monster and one little monster, like Hard Rock punishes that so hard. If you set one monster, then your opponent can just like do Metal plus Perian and then just Pierce, or Chiron even, not Perian. So like, it feels like the best thing you can do is set 2 monsters against this deck. Because a lot of the time it's difficult for the deck to do a lot through that. But even that isn't like good enough a lot of the time, right? It was a lot of fun. Not playing attention in the middle name and misplay and misclick. Exactly. But like I say, I'll be back later. I'll be streaming alongside Brian for the Dynasty Rush, which will be a lot of fun. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!